said I'm pretty sure that we're going to get canceled over my She-Hulk thoughts.
Oh yeah.
I'm 100% sure we'll get canceled.
Well, we're definitely going to lose some female viewers for that, our listeners.
Yeah, our viewers.
That's going to be one tricky process, getting a lady on board.
That show was trash.
No, not. I mean, not really. I mean, I got a few people who I think would be up for it.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
We could do it. All right, so
Shit, half of my employees want to be on this thing.
See, you know what? The good thing is once we get this going, it'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So then we can do it.
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't even get into it. Like I got an episode or two in, and I was like, I can't watch this. It was just not for me.
Oh, She-Hulk?
Yeah, it's not a big fan.
Oh, we got an epic one.
I guess it comes down. Did you read the She-Hulk comics?
Yeah.
No.
So then the show's like the comics, and you appreciate.
I agree because I read the comics.
If you didn't read the comics, you're not going to enjoy the show one bit. It's like going in from watching Ant-Man to Deadpool. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, I can see that.
That was my favorite.
It was way too. It was the feminist tones, which is driven. The big bad was an incel group. I'm sorry. That's
what did you expect from Marvel? Most of Marvel's big bads are their own clone evil villain self. Like, seriously, stop.
Well, they squabble more amongst themselves than they do with the villains. The villains are kind of just there to move the plot along.
If Marvel's heroes could battle DC's villains, life would be perfect. Because DC has much better villains. Marvel is kind of like.
Well, we've known that for
I like Thanos because he was down bad for a woman who didn't want him. Because it reminded me a lot of myself. Comic version of Thanos. Death.
Thanos was alright.
I did like that comic book where he essentially fights himself.
I don't think I read that one.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. That's when Ghost Rider. Let's see, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
Ghost Rider was the herald of Galactus, and then somehow he was fighting Thanos. That was pretty cool.
Alrighty, I think I got this covered, guys. So
all right, Jack.
We do the intros and all that.
Magic Man Jack.
I try.
All right, so do you want to do the 950 Club setup, and then we'll explain what's going on?
Alrighty.
Yeah, do the 950 Club setup, and then you guys do your 950 Club intro thing.
Okay.
And then you keep doing that Bushwhackers dance, and and then I'll take it over from there. I'll explain the concept, introduce the guys, and we'll flow from there.
Alrighty. Edwin, take it away.
Hi, I'm Edwin.
And I am Jack.
And welcome back
to the 950 Club.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Jamal will be taking the lead on this one as our second season continues to introduce all kinds of new and fun things. So take it away, Jamal.
Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be the first 950 Club anime podcast that we do virtually. Hi, Edwin's mom.
And a cameo by Edwin's mom.
Yeah, a cameo. Right. So this is usually a little behind the scenes. Usually we get together at a library or Jack's house or whatever, and we'll do this in person. So season 2, we're bringing a lot of new things, and we're doing our first virtual thing. In this, we're going to start calling open mic. So this is a virtual stream that we have, and this is another first for us. Not only is it our first virtual stream, but we actually have 2 guests
today. That's right.
So I'm going to introduce both of them. The first one, is a good friend of mine. I've known him since elementary school. We go way, 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 way back. When I was working in the airport one time and he disappeared off the planet, he just randomly walked up to me in the store and was like, "Hey, I'm back." And so, and we've been cool that whole time. He is a veteran of military. He is the Earl of Isekai. He is the Shihan Shonen.
Oh
He is
shit.
a very good friend of mine, and I am happy to have him on. That would be my friend Jesse Wilder.
Jesse.
Just
Hello, hello. Thank you. I'm also the guy who finished One Piece in one day. Yes, that's me. Just gonna claim that. No, I'm just playing. All right. No, thanks, Jamal. It's glad. Hello, 950 Club. Couldn't
So-
wait to be on this podcast. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Woohoo.
This
Yeah,
was a long time coming, and I'm glad we were able to set this up. And I can guarantee you, Jesse will be on a lot more because his energy would be great, and I would love to hear him and Edwin go back and forth in Isekai.
Yeah,
this-
that's
and this
definitely gonna
guy-
happen.
Because between the two of you, I don't think there's one that you haven't seen.
It would cover a lot more ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Isekai is probably the greatest genre of anime ever to be redefined, actually. I mean, I know it was out there before, but Sword Art Online took it to its own genre, and I can appreciate that for it.
Yeah, I think Sword Art Online had a good and bad effect on Isekai.
Well, it also
In some
came out.
ways.
It also came out at the same time as Log Horizon. Log Horizon is one of the most overlooked ones.
I think I
Right.
agree with that.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Mm.
But it's one of those things where once we get more with the history and the overview years later, we'll appreciate it more.
We
It's
won't even
definitely-
start on dot hat fine, okay? So
That is good. We will continue that discussion. Our second guest of the day, he is brand new to the world. He has little shoulders.
I hate you.
Come on, Mr. Will. Come on.
all in all, he's a 19-year-old, but
Generation Z.
but he's somebody that I think would be good for us because we're all in the same age bracket, and he gives us a fresh perspective of this stuff, and he knows his stuff. He reads the stuff. He watches a lot. He watches a lot of isekai too. So and he's another one that's been asking to get on. So I'm glad that we could facilitate this. And in all honesty, I really do like him. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Welcome,
It's,
Kyle.
it's good to meet you guys. Yeah, I've been trying to ask to get onto this since like the first time he ever talked about it. Because
Oh, nice.
I'm like currently going through anime burnout because I've been like binging One Piece again. I've watched like 45 episodes in the past like 3 days, and I'm very
Wow.
burnt out. Yeah, but yeah, I hope I can bring some new viewpoints to the podcast. And I've been trying to listen to every week during the work shift that me and Jamal work. So it's been great.
Do you have a favorite episode or like a favorite show that we covered? Like if you had to pick one of the shows that we covered, which one's your favorite of that roster?
I don't know. I don't like having favorites because they change way too much.
Yeah, I understand.
So, but
There's
like
too much
I have
good
like
stuff.
favorite. Exactly. See, you said it perfectly.
Mhm.
But like I have like rotating favorites. It depends on like what the state of my sanity is, if anything.
How about this? How about this then? How about
I
this
agree
question?
with that.
How about this question? If you had to pick one show that you listened to of ours that made you most curious, like
Well,
Jamal
I think,
recently-
yeah, like I think what Jack's trying to say is, was there an episode that we did that you listened to, or a show that we talked about that you watched and you were like, yeah, that was really good, man. I really enjoyed that.
Honestly, a lot of the ones you guys have talked about, I've already watched or I am currently watching. So I can't like take a full like breakdown of it because when I watch anime, I watch it like 3 times. Because the first time I watch it just for pure like enjoyment. The
Mhm.
second time I try to break it down, and the third time is when I actually pay attention to it. And like I try to like make notes of it because like I do like breaking things down to like try to deeper understand it. And if I truly like the anime, like I'll buy the manga. Like
Sure,
I
yeah.
just so, but honestly, you guys put me onto a lot of isekais. So that's like my current watch list has 27 items that I need to watch.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, I'm not excited to start
I
this
wish.
again.
I wish I had that many isekais to watch, honestly.
There, my friend, is where the age factor comes in at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this new season, the fall season, Isekai is a little bit like I've only seen one personally, and I'm like,
Which one are you watching, Jack?
well, I forget the title of it. We had that discussion about it. It was that
Reincarnated as a sword or Eminence of Shadow?
I was just about to say those are the only two out right now.
no,
Yeah, those
there
are
was
the
a,
two.
there,
Yeah.
there was another one. It reminded me a lot of Next Life as a Villainess.
Oh, that one is out. I forgot.
Good call on
next
the
one,
other
yeah.
two guys. I forgot about Eminence of Shadow.
I know which one you're talking about. I watched that. That one came out early in the season
Mhm.
Which
because I had
one?
watched. She's taming the final boss.
Yes.
Oh, that
Oh
one.
yeah, I saw. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
clips of that on TikTok.
First episode was okay.
The dating sim one.
Yeah, I watched.
Oh,
the
that one's
fir-
funny.
I watched the first arc. They're launching into a second arc where she dresses as a boy to go to. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know where you're gonna go with this.
But I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched far worse isekai than this, so I can't say yeah. I can't.
And this initially reminds me of My Next Life as a Villainous, but more adventurous.
Well, it's in that genre. Yeah, that's becoming a genre unto itself.
yeah, dating Mo Isekai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like Isekai has like the same anime every single season, where it's the super overpowered protagonist, and it becomes like a harem one. And then I feel like I've watched way too many of them to like continue watching them for like a solid like month.
Yeah.
Because I know last season there was Black Summoner, there
Yeah.
was
Yeah, I
need to
enjoyed
catch
Black
up with
Summoner.
that one.
I liked Black Summoner. It was I liked that he was a battle junkie.
Yeah.
That made it a lot of fun because it gave them because most of them it's like they're just trying, their thing is they just want to be strong so that they can protect the people that they love, and he just wanted to fight. He's like, bring on the next one because I want to fight the next one. So I like that one compared to like some of the other ones that were out last season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though
I
I
watch
think
mostly on Crunchyroll though, so like a lot of the ones that he does, I didn't mean to cut you off over was talking. I didn't quite hear you, but a lot of the ones I've watched have been on Crunchyroll because that's the one I've mainly been using. So
okay. Right now, if you were gonna do High Dive, I would recommend Reincarnated as a Sword because that one's I'm enjoying that one quite a bit,
Me too. I finally caught up. It's excellent.
and that one's definitely different from your usual isekai because you have
Different from OP too, I would argue.
well, no, he's the so this guy gets reincarnated as a sword, and he's essentially being wielded by a cat girl. So you don't have like the harem, tropes. So there's a lot of the usual tropes that aren't there, which is a lot of fun sometimes because I can see, yeah, you get tired of like, okay, all right, how many women is this guy gonna pick up? Yeah.
yeah, that's why I like Konosuba so much. That's what I was going to talk about because when you guys talked about Konosuba, that made me very happy. I told Will to watch, or I told Jamal to watch that like 5 times before he
How about
finally caved in.
How about ReZero? ReZero is kind of a debatable one.
Hot take.
See, he had the same reaction I did.
Okay. All right.
What about Jesse?
Yeah,
How do you
take
feel
one.
about ReZero, Jesse?
I love it. It's
Yeah!
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
First of all, it has one of the most emotional scenes I have ever seen in an anime. Him sitting there crying on her lap, spilling out his guts, but not being able to say anything was just artful. It was artful.
The best headlamp scene ever, hands down.
Seriously. It is a fantastic take on the isekai genre because he's not overpowered. He doesn't have any skills whatsoever. he somehow manages to make it work in a new. It's as different as what was the name of that one where they weren't really transferred to another world. I guess it answered the question: what would happen if an isekai magical world went into Japan and they just completely wiped them out? I don't know what was the name of that one. Gate. I think it was Gate. There we go.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I've heard of that one, but never seen it.
Oh, you have to check that
I have
out.
never heard.
When you
Okay.
see a dragon get mowed down by helicopters, it just opens your eyes. Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm waiting for Solo Leveling to come out because it's kind of the same
Yep.
premise.
Yep.
Solo leveling is
Kyle
another one
knows.
that Kyle get like. Okay, so this kind of like halfway started drama in my life because Kyle was just like, "Hey, you need to read this Solo Leveling light novel."
It's really good.
So I
So
did
good.
read it, and like everything I read, I like put on my Instagram, and then instantly, like Jesse and other people were like, "I need that."
Yeah, actually, where is that? I was supposed to. What happened?
You have to ask Kyle. It was his. Like, I had to give
Okay,
it
now
back.
it all makes sense.
I had to give it back.
I literally I literally smuggled in the first book into work to try to give it to Jamal.
I
So
don't
I'm gonna
like
keep saying it now. I thought
don't,
just to mess with you. Hope you know that.
don't be disrespectful. All right. So that was a long way to get to this. But usually when we first meet our guests, we would do a little intro for them, see what their background is into anime. So we'll start with Jesse. First of all, again, thank you for your service on this Veterans Day. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
We wouldn't be here without you. And
Thank you. And you guys are going to probably laugh at my introduction to anime, but it does not matter because that's not where you start, it's where you finish.
right.
So I originally started with Sailor Moon. That's right. I was fighting evil by moonlight with my sister.
Nice.
Did you watch it through
It's not
Toonami?
bad.
I no, actually, it was not on Toonami at the time. This was like when it was actually on. It was playing.
Regular TV. Yeah.
Yep, it was on regular TV before Toonami even existed.
Right.
Wow,
Like
wow.
afternoons. Yeah. You
Followed
come home
by
from school.
Ronin Warriors, and I think it might have been Samurai Pizza Cats. I'm not sure.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So it was that
Go
lineup back
way
in
back.
that time frame. So,
Mhm.
and then late night, I was watching. What is it? Demon City,
Demon City's good.
Akira. What other movies? Anything I could find on like Showtime or HBO since we had it. If it was animated, I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first actual loved anime though was actually Tenchi Muyo. My first wifey was Ryoko.
Oh, nice.
What was the anime called again? Sorry.
Tenchi Muyo.
Okay.
And I haven't thought
Life
about
of
that
life.
one. Yeah, I haven't thought about that one in forever, man. That was a good one.
Yeah,
That
We're,
was
definitely
we're
was-
showing our age here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely when I fell in love with anime and just had to watch it religiously. I was like, "Oh, Toonami, what? No, I gotta watch my next episode. I don't know where to get it."
You had to because there wasn't that much.
No, it wasn't.
See, this is kind of like where we like Jesse and I kind of came in at the same time because we're the same age. So like we had that, but like Edwin's a little older than us, so his journey was a little more of a struggle. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting to like have where Edwin came from, where it was like
There
if
was
you-
nothing.
video store might have something.
Yeah. Well, the thing was that you couldn't get it. Like you guys are really, especially you, Kyle. I mean, you're spoiled
Oh, yeah.
because
No, you're lucky. You're very,
you can
very,
watch
very
that stuff
lucky.
in simulcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best I could hope for is to find something that wasn't butchered. I mean, because they would do the English dubs and they would change everything. Like we had to when Jack and I talked about Nausicaa. I mean, even Transformers or Robotech, it wasn't the original. Like I wasn't getting any of the original like audio at all.
Yeah, or scripts, scenes. Digimon is infamous for that. There's a lot of like cut off scenes. Pokemon, of course, another example.
Wait, so you guys watch it in dub, not sub?
Oh, I
Oh.
prefer sub myself, but dub every once in a
Okay.
while. But yeah,
I do both. I'll do so when I watch it first run, of course, I watch it in the sub, and then when I'm recording, when I'm watching it for the podcast, I'll watch the English dubs.
Blasphemy. I, on the other hand, actually went back to watch my originals in sub. I watched my originals back in sub, and it was better. They were all better. Sailor Moon, Tenchi, Ronin Warriors, the voice, it's amazing.
Well, yeah, because those Japanese voice actors, man, they really put their heart and soul into
Oh
them.
yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, like even when when I need to watch it for the podcast, I'm usually I'm taking notes or I'm sketching, so I can't read. It's hard to read along with what they're saying, and that always pisses me off because I don't want to miss. I'm like, I don't want to miss like my favorite line or something. And but no, I love, there's just, I don't know, there's something about the Japanese voice performances that is just, it's so much better.
It's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like I wouldn't want to watch the Fresh Prince in Spanish.
And a lot of deep macho voices in Japanese, from Berserk to Jujutsu Kaisen. That one actor just has that.
Oh, Nanami?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toshiro Mifune type of like, a cadence. It's phenomenal. It's nearly impossible to replicate.
So
Yeah, Nanami's voice actors.
one more thing, like we need to get like Jesse to see Martin's Sailor Moon shoes. He would die.
Oh yeah,
Martin's another guest cameo we've had.
So Jesse, are you going to go to? Do you want to go to the Sailor Moon Museum?
I would totally. Let me tell you, and when everyone was picking out their wrestlers they wanted to be in the playground, roughhousing and fights, I was claiming to be Tuxedo Mask. Okay. And getting the strange looks of who is that guy?
That's awesome, dude.
I can verify this.
Okay. Hey, Jamal was there.
So it's definitely the wrestler dude.
This is the first time we've had firsthand verification.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, I mean, it had such a great tune. I don't understand. I even watched the movies were great too. And when I found out she had a little sister, what? Shocker.
Sailor Moon has one of the greatest anime theme songs of all time. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree. And opening too.
Yeah.
Hands down. And
Sure.
I think just about everybody our age at least watched a little bit of Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't know it, like it was definitely the most popular at the time. Or at least the early introductions for me. They had on Trigun and Cowboy Bebop, Neon Genesis, like, and Ghost in the Shell. Those are like the prominent ones in every video store. It seemed like.
Mm-hmm.
Outlaw Star, definitely there. What was the old video store? Gold Coast? Oh man, that's where
Suncoast. Suncoast was the shit for Gundam. Like, it didn't mess around with Gundam. It had the figurines and the posters. Oh my lord.
Well, that was one of the few places where you could actually go and buy the video cassettes.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually DVD.
Yeah. And it was like you could actually find stuff that was actually dubbed. Yeah, that was it. Suncoast was awesome for that. Yeah, we had one when I was in high school. I was working at a mall and there was a Suncoast there. I was there every day. Yeah, looking to see whatever anime I could find.
The covers are
just make us so young.
Yeah, see, this is way before your time. Again, everything for you is like everywhere. Like you could go into Target.
He doesn't even need to
find some sort of figurine.
Oh yeah.
We couldn't that stuff was not here.
No.
You had to like really, really dig to find a figure or a poster or whatever. Or even a DVD. Because
Yeah.
like even your blockbuster, even if they had like a Sailor Moon or a Dragon Ball, they had like one copy.
And
And somebody always had that copy,
It
and
was
they
me.
never returned it on time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and even in the schoolyard, it was kind of like at least for me, because a lot of people like I didn't have people like bullying me for it, but people made fun of me, like, oh, I like Digimon, I like Pokemon, and they'd be like, man, that's kid shit. And mind you, I'm like 11, 12, 13, and it's like, where's that? Why do I like it so much? Why do my contemporaries, my friends, don't like it as much as I do? So it wasn't like a shameful thing, but it definitely was a reason why I became a late bloomer, because I'm like, there's something about it. Like, it allures me, but I don't know what exactly. I mean, I grew up with Nintendo. I always liked Japanese movies, growing up, but eventually it just comes back to you. So,
All right, Jesse.
compared to Kyle right now, Kyle, yeah, it's more than acceptable. It's definitely
It's pop, as we've spoken about like a million times. It's pop culture now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for us, where it was kind of an outcast type thing, for them it's like pop culture. Like everybody's watching something, even if it's just like
Well, I mean, back when I was in high school, like we had Akira,
Yeah.
and we used to pass that video cassette around. So it wasn't like the stigma around it didn't
For
really
me, it
show up.
was. Yeah.
It didn't show up until more people got into it, which is kind of weird
Yeah, that's it.
because it wasn't even like we didn't even have a name for it back then.
right.
Like, oh, this movie out of Japan. That's that we didn't call it anime or Japanese animation. It was just a movie. It was a film that came out of Japan, and it was crazy insane, and you had to watch it. Everybody's like, "Have you seen this?" And that's all it was. It was like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like, if you were in high school, everybody told you you had to watch it.
Yeah.
Like this funny movie from Britain was like, you got to watch this. And there were just certain things that you had to watch. And it was weird because it wasn't like there wasn't a stigma, at least not with the guys. I don't know about the girls, but I know with the guys, it was just like this was cool and you had to watch it. And then it was later on where it was like, oh, you watch anime, it's like you're a weirdo. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's just that buffer, like before, like around Toonami, then of course till who knows when, it just became steady by steady. Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan, Death Note, something about it, My Hero Academia, something about it. Then sure enough, Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer was a gate barrier, like it's popular.
You know what? I think it's like we said before, everybody has that kind of like gateway show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
but
for
just
us,
astronomical.
Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball or whatever. But now for the kids these days, it's something different. It could be Attack on Titan or
Chainsaw.
Hero.
My
And
Hero.
it's funny you should say that because that was my daughter's take on anime. My
Attack on
daughter
Titan?
absolutely loves Attack on Titan. She is a fiend for it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did not think that she was going to be the one to take the anime, and let me tell you, it's amazing.
And that's the thing, man. And that's why like it's good to have Kyle on, because he could give us that kind of like younger perspective. So I mean,
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about anime is that you never know. Like you might see something and be like, oh no, I'm not gonna watch that. But then somebody else watches it and they find the parts of that show that are compelling to them.
yeah.
Whether it be the relationships or the music or the action or something. And that's why you have to, and that's one of the reasons for the podcast, because it's like you have to go in there, with an open mind and let the show do its magic on you. It's like, all right, what is it that you have that's going to be compelling enough to keep me watching for an entire season?
Yeah, my first ever streaming experience through Crunchyroll was Mysterious Girlfriend X.
Oh, I think that's how I watch this.
Do you like it?
It's on my watch list. It's I think my number 3 left. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a unique one. Very unique. I've been meaning to read the manga.
All right, Jesse.
Yeah.
So how did you get into isekai? What was the show that got you into isekai?
It definitely had to have been what was it called? 12 Kingdoms.
Okay, I've never seen that one.
12 Kingdoms was about some kids who, well, went to the kingdoms, fantasy, transported over. And literally, I just love the idea of them not having to fight in the real world, have superpowers, or just start in that, fantasy period. It was
Mhm.
like, hey, I'm going to use my knowledge of what I know to do something to make it better. Escaflowne was another one where they just were transported in,
Oh,
do
that one
some
was really
damage.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
I
big
just
one.
love the fact that, hey, you don't have it gave you the hope that, hey, one day maybe you could be transported into that nice magical world and do some damage. It was always that big wish of any freaking nerd in the world, and to see it come true.
The
Yeah, that must be
escapism.
looking very enticing.
Yeah. That escapism where it's like you just don't want to deal with the everyday world anymore. And if you were OP in another world, you'd be a lot happier.
Definitely. And I
Mhm.
think what locked me in was when Dot Hack signed, the thought of being in a video game. I was heavily into RPGs at the time, so that was definitely a baiter. Like, hey, here you go. Want some of this? Well, sure, I'll take a bite.
Yeah.
What were your favorite RPGs?
I was playing Shayla Knights at the time, I believe it was called.
Cool.
I like to play MMORPGs, the ones that are free to play. I feel like they have a better story, and I tried WoW. If you didn't come from WoW, you can't play WoW. To me, that's what it seemed like.
I could see that.
Everyone's level something or something, and you gotta, if you have to have someone babysit you half the time until you can get their level, it's just unenjoyable to me. I'm just pay for the fancy skins. I'm good. EverQuest though, I enjoyed a lot. Diablo, of course. I play a lot of RTS, StarCraft. StarCraft was crack.
Oh yeah, it was
StarCraft
cracked.
was, but me personally, for video games, I am a first-person shooter addict. I've been
Mm.
playing Counter-Strike since the beta. I've been playing Half-Life since Half-Life had a chat room. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah, mine was Borderlands. Borderlands 2 was my favorite first person shooter.
Favorite online as well.
Borderlands.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's co-op. It's pretty fun actually.
Borderlands 2.
The guns make Borderland the game it is. Like without
yeah.
the guns, you're just running around the wasteland.
Yeah. No,
So
man, I played Zero with a sniper rifle. Oh my god. The damage that you could do with him was ridiculous.
How about you, Kyle? Did you like video games as well?
Oh yeah, I've kind of been addicted to video games since I was like 9 when my cousin was living with my dad at the time and he introduced me to Halo.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
And
Jamal's jam.
Halo was fun.
but my first love, like person, well, semi first person, was Transformers Fall of Cybertron on the PS3.
Oh wow.
That game was so fun. I loved it. I think without exaggerating, I have like 80 days worth of playing time in
Wow.
that game.
That's
That's probably my favorite game of all time.
That is a game I've never heard someone say is their favorite. Ever in
Me neither.
history.
Never heard that either.
Yeah, I was a bit into Transformers growing up.
Okay.
That's, you know what, man, we were big. I mean, I think we've all been big into Transformers at some point. Just because
Yeah.
Metal Fox, yeah.
it may
Shoot.
not have been the game, but
Oh, yeah.
I was more of a Turtles guy, so the Turtles arcade and pretty much almost all the games in the early generations. Yeah.
I'm with you, Jack. I actually was. I'm not big on robots, honestly. I'm not. I wasn't big. Like I've only watched one Gundam, and it was Gundam Rose, I believe, the Shining Gundam. I like that one. I thought that one was entertainment. That was more like a tournament style, though, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, it's always been in between. For me, like there's ones that I'm like, Macross, for example, Neon Genesis, like the main focus is not exactly with the robots. Oh, Full Metal Panic as well, and you're like,
Full Metal Panic, yeah. Full Metal Panic, Pat Labor.
Yep. That one I want to re-dive into too. Yeah.
See, I've watched none of those. So if I ever actually do run out of isekais to rewatch again and again, although I'll
Jesse-
never get tired of reincarnated as a slime, I might start on some robot ones.
No, it's one
Full
of
Metal
them.
Panic.
You and
Yeah,
Edwin
I think
can
you'll
talk
like-
for days about that time I reincarnated.
Yes.
Like that was like my biggest thing to get you two into.
Did you see the movie?
I have not seen the movie yet.
Me either. Okay, I didn't. I was going to tell you no spoilers. No.
But yeah,
I would not do that to you, sir. I would not do that. No, that would not happen.
Who's the best character in that time I reincarnated as slime?
Oh, it's Rimuru, hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand.
I
Or at
don't.
least
Wait, do you mean best in terms of like skill or
I'm
like strength?
your
Best
favorite
overall.
character. The best overall.
I think he's saying our favorite character.
yeah,
It's got to be
more so
Rimuru.
favorite. I mean, he's obviously strong.
You know what? I would have to say then, my favorite character, I don't know if it counts, would be the Great Sage. Because Rimuru's voice inside of his head is her own little character, I swear.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
can agree with that. I
Yeah.
can agree with that.
Well, I love that type of character where sometimes the commentary is funnier than the show, and sometimes me and Martin have had this discussion where sometimes the narration is actually funnier than the show, and like when she tells him no sometimes, or like when she like will tell him something, and he's like, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" She's like, "I did."
Dude, I love it. Drop dead all the time. He's like, you told me to be quiet.
Yeah. Oh man.
So that's cool. So
I personally,
I'm
love
just writing down
Overwatch.
some of the anime that we've talked about, guys. So
that's cool. So another thing is Jesse is also a very talented artist.
hey.
He may be modest about it, but the man can draw.
I dabble in sketches. That's it. And back to that time I was reincarnated as a slime topic.
Oh, we're not letting this go, man. So Jamal hasn't harassed you into getting your own Instagram page.
like I did with Edwin.
I have not harassed him into it yet. You know what? After the next season of Slime comes on, we're definitely gonna have Jesse on.
Jesse, Jesse, they wouldn't leave me alone until I got the Instagram page. Jack wanted me to draw the covers for each episode, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'll try it. And I'm happy. I'm kind of happy that they prodded me the way they did, because I've created some stuff that I'm truly proud of.
And you upgraded too, and just seamless. Your Sasuke, you recently. I need a print. I'm looking right at you right now, Edwin.
Yeah,
That's my
now we
Christmas
have a
present.
backup artist. So now Jesse's gonna have to contribute some cover art too.
Or at least with slime. Yeah.
I feel like this was planned in his notes somewhere. Where he was like, yes, things I will get him on, by the way.
Oh yeah, Kyle, take note, because this is gonna happen to you too.
It will happen to him too.
Yep.
Him too. So speaking of
What
Kyle,
happened? Sorry, I was looking at the Instagram page. What was that question? What happened?
all right. So now I'm going to come to you, Kyle. So again, I mean, we touched on it before, but what was the anime that got you started into anime?
Well, you guys were talking about Pokemon, and I never really even thought about it as anime, but you could say that.
It definitely is. It definitely
Yeah,
is.
so I was-
I wish you could have saw my face when he said those words.
I never really thought of it as an anime. I always thought of it as like a cartoon growing up.
No,
But,
that was me initially also, because I saw Ghibli, and Ghibli was like, that's not exactly anime, right? It's like more than film.
I mean,
Well, like it's,
Yeah.
that's kind of
like I
what
was
we
saying.
all felt. It's kind of like what Edwin said, like when he
Mhm.
first got the tape. It's just like we didn't know this was like a genre. It's
Yeah.
from someplace else. It's Japan, and the world wasn't as connected then as it is now.
Very
No.
much so. Yeah.
So like we didn't know. We just thought, oh, this is an animated thing. This is a cartoon. I mean, that's what I thought when I first saw Pokemon and I'm like, oh, it's just another cartoon.
That's true.
And
What did it come out on WB, I believe? So you
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
well, what do
Kids
I
don't-
think about it?
And that's the way it was presented too.
Yeah.
Pokemon or even Sailor Moon, they weren't presented as like you knew that the style from the drawing from the style of drawings that it was specific to like Japanese like a Japanese animation studio, but there was never like it was presented to you as like, hey, this is a cartoon, just like all the other cartoons that we have on here. There wasn't that demarcation initially. It wasn't until like Toonami and like the other ones, that block where they presented it as like, okay, this is, like this is anime.
True.
Yeah. Keep going.
Oh
No,
no, I
no,
was just gonna say I feel like some animes are like that, but like Sailor Moon made you curious because you see her coming out of her house, she's putting on her shoes, she's sliding the door, and you're like, wait, I don't do that. Where are they at? Where are they coming
Yeah.
from? What is happening here?
Oh no,
it's,
there was definitely,
yeah.
there was definitely that slice of life vibe to it where I don't think you get that in Pokemon as much as Sailor Moon. Yeah.
true, but you'd have to wonder like they're eating with sticks. What's happening, Mom? What are they doing? It prompts the questions in your mind, and then you get curious. And I think that's what a lot of attracts people to the anime is part of the culture itself.
Yeah, and Pokemon, like doesn't like it's like one of those rare instances where it doesn't like beat you in the hammer with Japanese history or culture, but Kanto region where Ash is traveling, like
Mhm.
Kanto sounds like Kento, like there's a little ominous type of sound towards the regions and the names, and then you get a little bit more into the language and what they eat. Like Brock makes these rice balls, these maki rolls, like
Yeah.
that's not normal for me what I eat in America,
Right.
but different culture.
And they spend a lot more time focusing on cooking in anime than they do in like any, like most American cartoons.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah.
And I think we've discussed this before about like just the depth in storytelling in anime as opposed to like cartoons, especially when we were coming up.
Yeah, Looney Tunes, for example, is more vaudevillian. Like it's a sketch. The joke is a sketch. That's it. Move on. Betty Boop.
Yeah.
You name it. Like it's
They were
song and
short
dance.
sketches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's song and dance. That's it. Damn.
I talked about this early on in the podcast in Robotech.
Yes.
Especially if you like if you go back and rewatch some of the most of the cartoons were just meant to they were just like commercials for toys.
Right.
So half the time the people didn't care who wrote this or what it was about or the kind of story it told, as long as the kids watched it and said, hey, Mom and Dad, I want that toy. But that wasn't the way. Robotech had a story that went on far longer and much deeper than any other. Like He-Man doesn't tell a story the way Robotech does.
Very true.
You don't
Yeah.
have
I
those
never even thought about it
relationships
like
or
that.
character arcs or that sense of development that you do in anime.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said before, it was very episodic.
Yeah.
Like the cartoons was just like, all right, this episode happened. We had a beginning, middle, end. That's it. But with anime, there was, all right, if you miss this episode, you're not going to understand why the character is doing this. And it just built on it. So it was a different way of storytelling, and it presented the show in a different way, which I think, again, led more people into being intrigued by the art form.
I can agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get more of a sense. It's more like a soap opera in a way,
Yeah.
because soap operas have that story, that continues on and on and on.
And it condenses into one series, into the next series, until the next series.
And Jamal, that's kind of what they wanted, especially in American television.
Yeah.
That was one of the faults of Star Trek. Is they wanted the audience to be able to come and watch an episode no matter where it took place in the season. They could just pick it up, watch it, and be like, "Oh, I like this," and then just come back for the next one. And so you didn't get those arcs, and you didn't get that character growth.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really appreciate about anime is like when you watch a show, especially one that's a little longer,
Mm-hmm.
you feel like you start to like the characters growing you more than like in a more like American style like television. And like you can feel like you're able to like empathize with them a lot more, I feel like. And like
Well-
their struggles, their journey and everything. I didn't mean to cut you off, sorry. What were you saying?
No, you're
okay.
okay. Go ahead.
Floor.
Oh
I
yeah,
was-
but go ahead.
Sorry. Because I was about to say, like, because both of you guys, Jesse and Kyle, you mentioned about One Piece. One Piece is an exception. Now, it's steady and it's had so many years. What would be like the number one thing you felt like with that show that made you grow with it? Like,
One
like,
Piece is older than Kyle. I just want to put that out there.
It is older than me.
First of all, like you guys were saying about comparing a soap opera to anime, One Piece is the soap opera.
there you
We've
go.
got brothers dying. We got brothers coming out of nowhere. We've got Will showing up 3 times, and like, come on, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. We've got them telling you they can only have one fruit power, and then a guy comes and he's like, nah, change
Yeah,
the
Black
rules. Like, stop it. One Piece is do what they want. They do what they want. If they didn't want, and if they needed to do something, they can go to an island and set the plot to do it. Damn it. Like, it's amazing. So, One Piece takes from soap operas everything. Everything. I mean, who has they had anyone wake up from a coma? Probably so. I just can't remember because there's that many characters. Okay. Oh, Brooke, there we go. He came out of nowhere. Look at that. Look, okay. Hey, look, you're on a ghost ship. You died, but you're still here because you ate what was it, man? Like, yeah. But
Yeah.
what got me into One Piece, I honestly wasn't a One Piece fan when it first came out because I didn't know what One Piece was. You know, it wasn't expressed enough to what it was and what it was going to be. So I'm just watching a skinny, main character in the commercials running around punching people, and he looked like he had the powers of Stretch Armstrong. Yeah. Pat versus Goku, I'm like, man, you know what I mean? Like those two, I'm not seeing. We had Bleach at the time, and it was like, I'm busy. I'll come back to you. And then when I finally did, and I started, it's the world. The world of One Piece takes you in so dramatically and quickly that you can't help to be captivated by it. And you just want, and once you find out the goal, and you get so far in, you're like, all right, I'm here for this. Where is this damn piece at, bro? Like, come on. When are we getting to it? And then you realize that you're halfway through the journey, you still don't have the piece, but you don't even mind the ride, bro.
It's kind of like playing Skyrim.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like you don't care about the main mission because the fun is the side mission.
Yeah, the thing about One Piece that I fell in love with was just like the characters itself, and like I don't know, I feel like the comedy was also hilarious because Luffy is by far the funniest main character I've ever, just because he's just that stupid, but like he's genuinely stupid. Like he doesn't try to be dumb, he just is dumb.
Yeah.
And that's the funniest thing about it.
Goku. Yeah, Goku, for example, like something about him is like he's just absent-minded more than anything. And I never really consider him dumb. A lot of people think he's dumb, but Luffy is a case.
Luffy's he's something, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Luffy would leave his kid. I'm gonna say it. I think Luffy would be a good dad.
I mean, Goku did leave his kid. You have a point there. That just goes into Goku being dumb. That answers your question, Jack.
I don't know. It's something about him.
And it's something about Luffy as a main character that when he gets angry, you're actually angry with him. Like, bro, why did you piss him off? He's like the nicest guy. Just give him a steak, swim towards One Piece, and he'll be on his way. Like, why did you do that to him?
And I love that about anime. I love the way they build characters where they show you they show you instead of telling you. Like you see who the character is. So when something comes along, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen because they've totally prepared you for this. They've totally prepared you. You're like, okay, this is going to happen. And when it happens, it's so satisfying. Like when a character loses it, like we were talking about, oh my God.
The Chorus Recall.
Yeah, the course recoil.
That's what I was thinking of too.
Yeah, when she smacks her in the face with that gun, I was like, that was so satisfying because you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. You knew these characters. They illustrated who these. They told you exactly who these characters were, so you knew it's like, yeah, this is gonna happen.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen movie with Maki.
Yeah,
With her fight scenes, like Maki's super in the back, like you don't get a peep out of her. It feels like, but then
that was even better because you watched the show before Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, so you knew. Yeah,
no, that's what I'm trying to get at because it's literally a build. You never knew that was a build. And sure enough, in that confrontation she had, seamless, the best fighter of the bunch. What the, you know?
You know what scene still gives me goosebumps of that? Black Clover. When the Black Clovers where they were doing the what was it? The tournament, and he was messing up his brother with the portals and stuff, and they were just like, "Oh, you want to kill him, bro?" The reaction.
When they all pulled up, I was screaming.
Man, I was up out my seat like, you messed up now.
Yeah.
They care. They don't care.
Lunch is right behind them. Like, dude, I dare you.
Man, like, bro, when you say call your crew, bro, they was there in a flash. Like, I didn't even know half of them could move that fast. I was like, what? Army got up, Army cast some spells to knock. I was like, stop it.
Oh, Magma was just. Oh, he was. They were all wanted that.
And they just looked so
right now.
So we got
Black ass powered up. It was amazing.
So we have Black Clover fans. Okay, you're in Edwin's camp.
Clover is the movie. Oh, I can't wait.
Or there's gonna be a movie. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Yep. They're for the Spade Kingdom. They actually do it in the movie. It was released. The teaser was released at the end of the final season.
Yeah.
Wait, have you guys? Speaking of anime films, have you guys watched the film Red?
The
One Piece?
No, I have not seen it yet.
Not yet.
I have not. Have you? Does he use his powers?
I haven't seen it yet. So I was. I thought one of you guys did.
It was supposed to be released this week or next week.
It's out.
Last week, I think.
It's out.
Gotcha.
It's out. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's doing pretty well too, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and this month alone, at least 4 movie releases. What the hell for anime?
Laid Back Camp. Oh my God.
Yep, Laid Back Camp and Quintessential Quintuplets.
Peak.
That's actually out right now. If you know where to watch it.
You got to get in them streets. You got to dig in them internet streets.
Yeah,
you can find it.
Yeah, Jamal has introduced that idea before.
I live by that idea. It's not an introduction. I live by that idea.
Oh, I remember back in the day.
The day is still, we're still back in the day for me.
Oh yeah, I never stop.
Yeah, if we wanted to see something at work, Jamal was the guy.
Yeah. Right as I got back into anime after watching Fullmetal Alchemist on Netflix, there were ones that I was like, okay, I gotta put it on my list. Trigun wasn't even on any streaming service. That's how I saw Trigun initially. That's how I saw Berserk. You name it, even Paranoia Agent. Like it took like a good almost 10 years to finally be streaming, and I'm like, that's how you did it. Like that's the only way you did it for that one little bubble.
Yeah, that's the only way you. For some of them, that's the only way you could find it.
Yeah. Neon Genesis too. Yeah, you name it.
I think that's how I watched Ergo Proxy.
Yeah, that too. Like I literally saw at least 100 titles like illegally until Crunchyroll and Funimation kind of got their mojo going.
Oh, that's so much easier too. It's like
Yeah.
it's so much easier.
Yeah.
I love Crunchyroll so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do too. Because we lived through the days of not having it.
Yeah.
So it was like if you were watching Toonami and you like missed a week,
That was it.
brutal. It was brutal because you just kind of have to wait till they do the marathon of the show to kind of catch up.
That's how Pokemon was. That's how I first like got like tried to do. That's when I first like those sites because it was like during Pokemon XYZ. It was like the second season of it, pretty much.
Yeah,
Or I
yeah.
think it was the. Oh my god, that was the best Pokemon series of all time, and you will not change my mind about that.
No,
XYZ had the best fights, the best tournament arc. Ash
No.
and Ninja was peak.
yeah. I've been meaning to go back to the newer seasons. I even saw glimpses of here and there ones. I saw the Red and Blue movie. That was cool.
Oh yeah, that was actually I enjoyed that. I appreciate them for that one.
It's like an
Red
alternate
Chronicles?
timeline. Yeah.
I know I've seen a couple of the Pokemon movies. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the first two especially, the first movie and then the 2000s. 2000s, one of my favorites. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
the one
I
with
just
Mewtwo
read
and
that.
everything?
I think I just read that. Didn't Ash just become the best trainer?
Did he
Yeah, I was
finally
meant to
win?
bring that up. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
After
I just
25
read
years, he's
the
finally done it.
And he finally beat Gary, god damn it.
Finally,
That's-
it's such a big thing. I think I read an article on like Yahoo. That was like
That's a long journey.
that is a very long journey.
Yeah.
I just don't
One of them
understand
I
why
love.
he still has that crappy Pikachu. Like, dude,
Yeah.
you know what you're coming. It's like a matchup from the greatest. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I see you coming with that Pikachu. Here you go.
Huh.
Got a little lineup. Got something ready for that. Like, come on, man.
Imagine
Yeah,
if
it's like-
Pikachu, imagine if Pikachu evolved into Raichu. Would it be different? Would it be
But
stronger?
that's his friend.
I would
Yeah,
appreciate that. He's still your friend. Friends change, Jamal. Did I
Yeah.
change?
Yeah. He just got a little bit
Yeah.
chubbier, a little bit bigger, you know.
And then maybe Team Rocket got off his back. Like, where's Pikachu? He's gone. Who's that? It's Raichu. And then bam, and then you can get some more training in. There, I just
Pikachu
solved
got-
a big problem for you.
Sorry,
Pikachu got his own movie at this point. Yeah.
well,
Oh yeah, the Detective Pikachu thing.
Yeah.
our
Right.
favorite.
Yeah, I love how
We
the
don't talk about
first
that.
Pokemon movie we get live action is crap. Like, dude, those Pokemon were beautiful, but it's a crap movie. It's just crap on crap with beautiful Pokemon. Like, we just wanted to see them battle, and you gave us this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It makes live action. You guys know we have. It just hasn't been good.
Yeah.
Most of it hasn't been good.
We originally had
As soon as Jack said Full Metal Alchemist, it automatically made me think of the live action film that we wasted our time watching on Netflix.
and then we didn't record.
We haven't recorded it yet, and I'm not gonna. That's gonna be a rant for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's not.
Has that been?
Let's not start it
Has-
on that because
Oh,
Have
awful.
you seen the Attack on Titan? Oh,
The live
No.
action.
I refuse.
oh wow.
Jamal's
I
like,
don't want to.
I
I
don't wanna
watched
hear
this
it.
under many substances and still couldn't get behind this movie. Okay, this was horrible. And then they had the nerve to be like, "Stay tuned for part 2." No, thank you.
no.
No, thank
I
you.
think we'll end this here. Thank you very much.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
They
Don't
did that
attack
with-
any more Titans, please.
They actually remade Brotherhood into 3 animated or 3 live action movies.
Awful. Live action.
Yeah. I watched the second one, which was The Revenge of Scar,
Revenge of Scar. Yeah.
and I the third one is up there now, and I'm like, if I have to, I'll watch it for the podcast, but that's the only way.
Yeah. And you're finally catching up with Brother, the original anime as well.
No, Brotherhood isn't the original. Oh,
He's talking
the
about just the anime in general.
oh, okay. Yeah, I started watching it. I'm just not really feeling it because I mean there's so many things that remind me of the original, and I'm just
Well,
like,
It takes-
Brotherhood's the manga.
No, it takes time for you to like. If you haven't seen it, it takes time for you to like
Get into it.
get into it because there's definitely a cutoff point where it like goes from the original anime to
It veers off.
Brotherhood being its own.
Oh, does it ever?
Yeah. You know what? It's so like this is a topic that we've been kicking around to have at a convention panel. The original Full Metal Alchemist versus Brotherhood.
And I'm on Brotherhood team.
Oh, Brotherhood.
I kind of like
Hands
the
down,
original
go
a little
Brotherhood.
better. I kind of like the original a little better.
Well, the original.
I like the original better. I like the ending of Brotherhood more than now. I'm going to save this bigger discussion
Okay.
For later.
Okay.
For later. All right.
for the
Until
panel.
we get more.
But
kudos.
if I have to be the Lone Ranger on the original, I will.
I have to finish Brotherhood so I can tell you guys whether or
Yeah.
not. Yeah, which I like better.
I haven't watched either. So
That's
yeah, I haven't
disrespectful.
done that. I know.
No, this is a learning point, son. This is where you get to kudos.
Hold on. So while we're on the topic of disrespect, let me
Oh my god.
Ouch.
tell you what Kyle
Hold
did.
on. Here we
Jack
go.
Edwin, what is the cardinal rule of Mitsuo?
Oh, Kyle, you didn't.
He broke the cardinal rule.
Oh, you didn't. You went to Mitsuwa and you didn't invite Jamal.
He
Okay,
broke the
in my
cardinal-
defense,
Hey, Kyle,
that
don't
was
worry about it. I do that all the time.
I'm literally going next week because I know for a fact that I drop another 140 again. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
gonna go with that. I spent
Jamal
140
never-
and 45 minutes.
Oh, dude, I spent like because I spent 165 at the bookstore, and that's not including the stuff that I bought from the bakery, and then I took my cousin to eat ramen. So yeah, they that place got a lot of my that place got a good chunk of my paycheck the last time I went.
like a mini convention.
Yeah, don't feel bad, Kyle. Don't feel bad at all, man.
I mean, I'm gonna go back and like I don't know. I was with my cousin. We were literally driving by because I was taking her to her boyfriend's house. That's what we found out there. And I was like, okay, wait, Jamal's sorry about this. So we go in, and then I'm like, oh wait, I kind of forgot to invite him. So then now I'm hearing about it now that it's disrespectful and the cardinal rule, when I in fact did not know it was a cardinal rule or sin, I should say. So I'm being falsely persecuted.
So like I told him to go there because he was looking for was it the Chainsaw Man manga?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had steady supply.
So he was looking for the Chainsaw Man manga.
Oh,
It's like you have to go to Mitsuo because they hoard everything.
Well, they
Yes,
ordered.
they do.
They literally ordered all of them.
Now let me ask Kyle. Were you like when you were looking for Chainsaw Man? Were you looking for the later volumes, or were you looking for the first one?
I kind of want to collect like the entire collection. I know, but
So you read it digitally, or
No, he went to go buy them.
No, I know.
I want to
but-
go buy them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So starting with the first one then.
The first one I have, the second one I have. Then after that, I was on a dry spell. Then I saw them there, but then I also saw the Jujutsu Kaisen ones,
Ah,
and
and
I don't know.
Did you get the Japanese text ones as well?
I don't know, especially because I just bought the normal ones. I think the ones in English.
Nice.
I cannot read Japanese.
Oh, I
Yeah.
do it for collecting art and some that are like exclusive too. Like I have this Komi one that it still hasn't been released in English, and it just shows all side bits of characters.
Did
and
you
stuff.
just bring up Comey?
Oh.
I'm gonna communicate.
Did you
Peace.
being disrespectful again?
Yep, there he goes.
He's being
There he goes. You know, that's why we don't have any merch, Jack.
little story that I won't go into. But go back
He
to
is a peak
Chainsaw
worker.
Man. So, how do you like the adaptation so far, Kyle?
I'm loving it. The Denji scene in Volume 1 where he's crouched down. I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm talking about. That is my profile picture on Twitter, which is great. The infamous scene where he's crouching down in the devil room after he's killed his first devil as a hunter. Yeah, that's my first one. That's my Twitter profile pic.
Yeah,
I'll put it on video.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
think
know what I'm talking about? Oh, hold
I know
on.
what you're talking about. I know.
I did go to settings and put zoom for camera on. Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay.
This is
How about you, Jesse? Have you gotten into Chainsaw Man?
Unpopular opinion time. I thought it was boring. I was like, man, I'll come back to you a little bit later, I guess. I just didn't find it interesting. I don't know. It just didn't pique my interest.
No,
like-
yeah,
It's
I was
not
saying, like,
that
I've
unpopular.
seen bloodier, so
either.
Okay.
It's not that unpopular. It's not that
Sorry, I'm
unpopular because I kind of feel the same way.
I'm in the same boat.
Not really, it's not doing much for me.
I'm just like, I don't know what all the hype was, honestly. I'm like,
I'm trying to figure it out myself.
you
First of
remember
all,
in the
it's
old
very
cartoons.
difficult for me to get behind like a main character whose like main goal is to touch somebody's boobs. It's
Hey.
very difficult for me to get behind that.
and just one, not even a harem.
Right.
Dude.
Makima is peak woman right there. Maybe manipulative, but guess what? She's peak.
Oh, hey.
This is
She's
the one I'm
definitely
talking about.
manipulative.
Oh, yes. I just want to touch
Yeah.
your boobs.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to like want to root for somebody like that.
Well, the early stages, maybe there's a growth within the first season.
Oh,
Well, to me, they come across. I don't know how Kyle's gonna feel about this,
probably mad.
but they come across as a little disabled,
Yeah, they do.
right? Yeah,
That's why I contacted them.
you root for them because I mean they're him and Power. I mean they're not socialized
No, not
individuals,
whatsoever.
like
They're
not at
learning.
all.
They're learning.
No.
Yeah, they're learning. And so I mean his goal of touching boobs is like he's like he's just like he's
Well,
got
It's
so here you got a grown man who essentially is like an 11-year-old because of the way he hasn't been socialized as a human being. He's been like pretty much treated like a dog.
Well, he's just like me for real, honestly.
Oh no, man.
Chainsaw Man is what happens when you get homeschooled.
Yeah.
You're still young. The game hasn't destroyed you all the way yet. You're still young.
It's destroying me slowly.
No, you ain't even reached the bottom yet, brother.
No. For me, I'm kind of liking it. The thing though is that the art I'm not crazy about, and I love Mappa. Mappa's done some excellent work this past year and last year as well. The thing though is that when I look at the covers and the pages, I was hoping for like a Studio Trigger kind of thing, where it just pops. It's just exploitation and like the seamlessness of the pages and everything. And what they done in the show so far, they made it a little bit too on the nose, a little bit too gritty. I think there's some scenes that it kind of felt dull to me at the moment. This is the first couple episodes. Who knows what will happen within next stretch? Maybe it'd be more color for all I know. Maybe they'll just not give a fuck. But
Well, you know me,
overall,
man.
yeah,
I like it. I'm enjoying it. I watch the episodes as they come out. I'm having a lot of fun with it for what it is.
yeah. And
I'm loving that.
hey, Kyle, have you been checking out Kaiju #2 as well, or Kaiju #8?
I thought that was I was gonna say, I have that on my kind of buy list, but you see,
Yeah,
I'm trying not to go completely bankrupt.
no.
It's hard when you like anime,
Yeah, because I've read that,
Yeah.
and then I checked out Chainsaw Man, and it was like, oh, okay, so it's kind of like the same camp. Kaiju #8 is more like My Hero Academia mixed in with Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
I've heard
but
good things about it, but
yeah,
I read the first 2 volumes. I really enjoyed that.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to pick up the third.
overall, it's not a flacking session on Chainsaw Man, but it's definitely we're trying to register why it's so popular because, like with Kyle, you're right for the picking for that show and manga as well. And I don't blame you because it's selling like crazy for a reason. It relates to you. It's definitely an anime for your generation kind of thing.
Yeah, my rule with buying manga. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But my real manga is I usually buy the first 2 volumes to see if I actually like it. And if I really do like it, I'll probably end up buying like 5 or 6 after that.
Yeah.
See, my brother's currently borrowing like 1 through 4 of Jujutsu Kaisen, so I have bought 5 through 9. So when he finishes it, and then I have 10 through 12, but I think they're at my cousin's because I was there when we were reading manga. So I have they're all over the place, to be honest. But yeah, I share my mangas a lot because they're very peak, and they give me happiness.
So for this week, Mitsuwa is Kyle's wallet slayer.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be next week's too.
Where I will live. That's my rent.
No, I felt so.
All right.
Feels
I'm just
bougie
glad
over
they
there.
don't have more of a selection of figures at Mitsuwa, because then I'd be in real trouble.
Well, last time I was there, they had more pop-up parade. That's how I got my Ryoko.
No,
Yeah,
Really?
no.
right in the corner. I haven't been there in a while, but literally right in the corner, where it was kind of like a dead space. They expanded it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they moved it around a little bit, but when I went, they didn't have much, so I was kind of glad because after buying all that manga, I'm like, I'm okay that they don't have any figures right now.
And they
Yeah.
also have translation books and stuff. Man, it's good stuff.
Ooh. Yeah, my favorite buy of the week has definitely been this one.
Oh, nice.
The comic
Volume
version of
5 is
Solo
out?
Leveling.
So
Yep.
Nice.
explain to me guys about solo leveling because I've been kind of like on the fence. Is it from Korea originally?
Yeah. I
Okay.
believe so.
Yeah,
It's
from
mainly
South Korea.
based in Korea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like the author is Japanese or the creator is Japanese.
No, I believe he's Korean.
Korean. That's all.
I think it's all Korean.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
know
in
that
that
they,
one,
Continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
okay. So I was just gonna give him like a brief summary of like what's going on.
Yeah.
So essentially, like these dungeons open up in our world. And so if they don't shut them down, if they don't go in there and defeat the dungeon, the creatures from the dungeon start to flood out into our world. And so like they have these hunters that will go in and take down they will essentially defeat the dungeon. But then they're ranked. And so the main character, he's like the lowest rank. But
Mhm.
essentially the dungeon takes a special interest in him. Whatever system is running the dungeon takes a special interest in him and starts to train him separately from everybody else. And so that's where the solo leveling comes in.
Okay.
And yeah.
And one of the
I'll
big
let
things
you-
about sorry,
Go ahead,
I'm getting
Tom.
excited. My bad.
No,
One of the
Me
big
too,
things
man.
about solo leveling is that like you can't adjust your rank. The other hunters, they can't go up or down, and they're ranked. They're like whatever you're born as. If you are even selected to be a hunter, or like you're born into being a hunter, you can't change your rank. So he was in the first I think the page or something. They adjust him as like the weakest hunter in the world.
Yeah.
And then I think in the comic 4, I don't know which one in the light novel it is. He met the strongest hunter in the world, and it was kind of a cool callback to like the first ever part. But yeah,
All right.
sorry, I got excited.
Oh,
That's cool, man.
and, another Korean one. I'm not sure about the manga, but anime was relatively popular. Surprisingly, was the Tower of God. You ever check that one out?
That's on Webtoon too, as well, right? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Gotcha.
I haven't read that one yet.
It's kind of like a weird wave, like a Korean wave. With the
That
manga.
was I think a joint venture between Webtoons and Crunchyroll.
There you go. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because
And sorry,
I'm what?
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry, I had another one I was going to bring up after this.
No, go ahead, man. If you got some manga recommendations, I'll write that down too.
Oh no, the God of High School is also another one of those Webtoon and Crunchyroll
Yes.
collaborations.
Yes. They had a really good opening. I remember that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, they lost Jack on the wedding episode.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yep. Yep.
That was jumping the shark.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I
it.
don't know.
I
I don't know.
It's
I don't
on
want to put spoilers for that show.
Okay.
Also cool.
Sorry, Jack.
I'm not that sorry. His fault we don't have Kamuy merch. So, Jesse, what are you currently watching?
Oh, that's a good question. Rewatching Overlord right now. Also watching the Golden Kami. That is a great ride. I don't, you know what? I can't put a genre on it because it's such a great ride. It would take you through every one of them.
It's an adventure, and I saw most of the first season. I've been meaning to catch up, and haven't checked out To Eternity as well.
Oh yeah, Eternity is on season 2.
Can you repeat that?
That I kind of like those anime to the end of the season because that's definitely a binger. Oh, can you hear me?
Nah, repeat that. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all good. No, I said like Eternity 2 is one of those animes where you want to put off until the end of the season so you can just kind of
Binge.
binge it all because definitely a cliffhanger heavy anime. Like every episode just gives you more questions.
Yeah, because Golden Kamuy and To Eternity have like the same feel. It's more like an adventure, like riding off an adventure kind of thing, in drama aspects, and even like they put in a little bit of slice of life, but in historical context as well. And both are like weird, yeah, like Jason said, almost like its own genre kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny as hell. like like the gags in it. I mean, the randomness of it all. Yeah, just check it out.
It's interesting.
Yeah, what was that one I told you to check out, Jamal, with the giant? I forgot the name of it. The deaf kid. He was deaf and mute. We all saw it. It was great.
Ranking of Kings.
Ranking of Kings.
We all like Ranking of Kings. Yeah, we Jack watched that initially, and he got us into it, and yeah, we all got hooked on that.
How about you, Kyle? Have you checked that one out?
No, Jamal keeps telling me to watch it, but I'm trying to put it off.
We have yet to have a unanimous one, but every 5 of us.
I know. I'm sorry.
Chainsaw Man.
That was going to be one that we were going to do a review of since Edwin caught up on it.
Yeah.
So
it definitely has one of the greatest anime fight scenes ever.
Which one would that be?
Where he fights his dad. It is beautiful. It is emotional. It is action packed. It is well drawn. The only thing that comes to mind that might be able to beat that battle in art style would be Demon Slayer.
Of course. Entertainment District arc alone.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, those fights are absolutely gorgeous.
Those fights, I just wanted to throw my money at my screen, like take more and do more.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely use that money in Mugen Train.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
And even in the entertainment district arc, like what towards the end of it, you could tell they pumped a lot more money into production on that.
Oh yeah.
Really up the ante. It was movie quality.
Yeah.
Well, I think they had movie money to dump into it.
And it paid off.
Mm-hmm.
It paid off. So you know what? Like, I like how you mentioned the anime style of Ranking of Kings and the fighting. Because when I first watched it, I didn't really like the animation style. It looked like Phineas and Ferb to me. So I didn't know what to make.
Definitely.
And then but I got invested in the story.
Yeah.
So what was it that kind of got you into Ranking Kings?
Me personally, it was the storytelling itself. It was he didn't. If you ever notice in the Ranking of the Kings, he never had to explain his motions. They never had to explain what was happening behind the scenes. You never got that. She was never, you know, how you never thought that the mom evil? Was she good? Was she loving? There was no fade to black, go back to the past, showing her saying something evil and wicked, and then coming back. It was just, this is what you see, this is what you get. You have to piece the story together based on these characters' emotions and go off of that. Brilliant storytelling. No one had to sit at a table, explain this and that to get the plot moving, so you knew where you were at, you knew what was happening in the kingdom. There was none of that. It was fast-paced storytelling with the characters' emotions only. Brilliant. Brilliant anime, brilliant production, brilliant storytelling. Just an amazing anime, 10 out of 10, hands down.
Yeah, it was I didn't expect it to be as emotional as it was. I really didn't know. I thought we were gonna get more of like an abstract fable. But it really stayed grounded in the characters and like Boji's emotions.
Oh,
And I thought that was like, man, this is all about their relationships. I mean, this is about the relationships between people and how fucked up they can be.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't his dad does some really fucked up shit for, his wife. I was
What?
very confused as to what that relationship was. Yeah.
I'm so confused on what's going on here.
it was definitely. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to be. Kyle's like, I am watching this right now.
I'll tell you, it's amazing.
I'm so confused on what's going on.
It's you know what? It's very confusing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you don't,
Okay.
you get the ranking of kings name and you're just like, okay, they're ranking kings. But it takes you in such a different direction. And like they said, it is a very emotional show.
Mm-hmm.
And especially since like Boji's deaf and he can't.
I don't know who Boji
In
is.
the way
So.
that, all right, I'm going to trash another show that I like trashing. In the way that they say Handmaid's Tale is so good because of like her facial expressions and everything. That's the way Ranking of Kings is, to allude to what Jesse said, except that
Okay.
Elizabeth Moss's acting in Handmaid's Tale is horrendous. It's terrible. She makes the same ugly face. She needs to take that over to like Scientology and make movies over there. Movies with Gina Carano or something. I don't know.
I
But
haven't watched 10 minutes to either, so
trash.
We'll warn you.
Watch it. Garbage. But
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I will warn you before you watch it. Don't watch it with a girl.
Yeah,
Because you will. That first episode will break you. It will literally. You won't expect it, but it will break you. I was not expecting.
There will be tears.
It's so amazing to follow a main character who doesn't really even say anything because he can't, and then still be related and still understand exactly what he's going through in a 20-minute episode. It's
wait, so he's deaf. He's deaf and mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's deaf, so he can't really talk. He just kind of makes sounds.
And he can't lift the sword. He can't lift anything over like 5 pounds. He's
very weak.
He's like light duty on work.
Yeah. Like if he were here, he'd be collecting a disability check.
Okay.
He's such a he's such an anti-protagonist for anime. But at the same time, he's not, which I thought was really cool.
Almost like Luffy camp, I would argue.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
Luffy's in a tier of his own.
Because I think Boji, like a lot of like, and I know Edwin has talked on this before because he hates shonen.
I do not hate shonen.
Yes, he does. And so, but
Jamal.
the main characters, they're always, that stereotypical, not smart, very aloof, very dumb, power hungry. Like they're all that. Like in Boji, he's not that. He's that because of how he was born. Like he was born with this disability to where he was a step behind everybody. And you know, in the show, the dad is dying, and Boji was technically the firstborn, so he should be the next king. But there's a conflict between him and his younger brother,
Okay.
and it takes him in a different direction. And you know, Boji, he's got a lot. He has so many people working against him, and you
Okay.
keep seeing these different people. That's like, oh, okay, he's for him. Or he's training him. He's going to teach him everything he needs to know. And then, all right, this dude turns against him. And then you peel this layer and this dude turns against him. And then it's like, you think this person's against him, but they're kind of on his side. Like there's a lot of weaving in here. And because he can't speak, we can't really, you kind of like Jesse said, you kind of have to, you have to feel
Yeah.
where he's coming from
Yeah.
because he can't express himself. So we have to feel our way through it the same way he does. And
I don't have a heart. I can't feel.
you have a heart. You're 19. You ain't gonna, so it's a very good show. It has good action. It's entertaining. Was
Kyle,
Like Jesse said,
this 24
those
episodes?
yeah, it's like Jesse said, those fight scenes are amazing.
Yeah, they're
No
very
problem.
very well done.
Hmm.
And
Kyle's heart is a chainsaw monster.
Pochita. I ordered a squishmallow kind of pochita. I'm
I've
waiting
seen
for it
it.
to arrive.
I've seen it. That would look cute.
I'm very excited for it to arrive.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
I'm still trying to figure out this whole Chainsaw Man thing because I want to like it.
Don't think, just enjoy.
Talk
And
to
that's the thing. You definitely have to go back a little bit, kind of thing. And
Just
for me,
enjoy it.
I'm still getting used to the style itself. That's all.
I'm trying to like it. It's just not grabbing me. Oh,
Well, you pioneered through with lewdness before.
Yeah.
I could grind through it, and I started it, so I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Jesse said, like it's just not.
It's not for everyone. So
It's just it's just not grabbing me yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch Chainsaw Man in one of those winter storms where there's nothing else in January and February, and I'm like, all right, I got the couch. It's on Crunchyroll now. Do.
I'm so excited for Jujutsu Kaisen to come back. Oh my god.
Next year.
you know-
Next year. I think it's fall. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's
Next
fall. I
year.
thought it was winter.
Ah, no.
Yeah, no.
No, I think
Dang.
it's supposed to come out. I don't know. We're getting a lot of stuff. We're getting a lot of heavy hitters next year.
Inspector season 2.
Near Automata, January. Trigun, January.
Trigun's gonna be garbage. The animation looks like garbage, and we'll leave it at that. We'll leave the garbage where the garbage lies. Okay.
My only hope is that Solo Leveling is good and does good by the novel, by like the storytelling and everything, and like the comic by like the fight scenes that they do. That's just my big question. Because like I know Berserk is like a huge fan base, but the animation is terrible. It's garbage. It's mostly like the CGI-ish, and like I'm not a fan of it. And like I can't really watch it.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
just
why.
hope that
It was the beginning stages. I agree there. The later season is okay, but one anime that we're gonna review eventually is the first ever CGI one where it's actually really good because they contrasted both with the manga style, and that's Duke of Death.
Duke of Death. Is
Yeah.
that out yet? Or where is that on?
Yeah, that came out last year. I think it's still on Crunchyroll. I'm trying to
Obviously,
remember.
you just said it.
Yeah, Duke of Death was yeah, I was kind of surprised because I don't like that animation style either, but they did a really good job with it on Duke of Death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first one I saw like that was Knights of Sidonia on Netflix, and just that 3D, I don't know why they keep trying to make it happen in some of these animes, because it just sometimes it just doesn't work. Yeah, like I was watching Netflix has another one, a new one this season called Romantic Killer. And
Yes, how about that?
yeah. And they don't just some of the computer generated animation in that is just like, oh no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know why they keep trying to make that happen.
I don't know. Like Jesse, we were watching something from Netflix at your house. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, it was that's remember the Will Smith Bright, the Bright animation.
Yes. Yes.
Animated movie.
Not good.
We got through like 20 minutes of that crap before we were like, all right, this
I
is enough
sacked
of
that.
that.
Again.
It was terrible.
So there's live adaptations and animated adaptations that are crap.
It was
I don't-
it was terrible. It was like you said, the animation style just was not good.
Yeah.
Quick question
Mm,
for the group. Have you guys watched a single live adaptation for anime that was actually good or like decent? Because I don't think I've watched one.
Mushishi, the movie. There's a live adaptation of it. It's if you're familiar with the anime, came out over almost 20 years ago, and
yeah, that's older than him.
yep, and Jamal finally caught up with it too, and basically it's that Olympic they have a live adaptation, and it was honorable. It's like there's something about like just having that respect towards it. That's all I look for, and that was a close one. And another really close one would have to be Kaguya-sama. I did see the live action of that, and I wasn't crazy about it, but it had at least the characters. Like you see them in their live form. That's all I can ask for. It's like one of those things where you know what, if they're human, I just want to see them human. That's it.
You know what I did like Parasite. Parasite was actually pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good live action.
I haven't seen-
live action for Parasite.
Yeah, I haven't seen any good live action. I haven't seen anything. I mean, my judgment still right now is clouded by that horrible Cowboy Bebop show. So if I can't even remember anything that's good because that was so horrible that
One Piece is coming.
literally.
I'm so scared for that. Oh my god, I'm just gonna bring that up.
When you see the merry-go-round and you're just looking at the bar, and I'm like, is that a bar on the deck?
Yeah.
What is? And then I'm just wondering, like, so is the first 3 seasons just Zoro and Luffy, or how are they gonna pull this off? They're gonna just get a new crewmate every episode? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
It's kind of like what they did with Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, because like if they ever get to like the point, is this gonna be like 1,000 live action episodes? Because that ain't happening.
No, I agree.
Please do that.
I can almost guarantee it won't get that far because it'll be so bad it'll get canceled.
What episode?
Yeah,
are you on? I'm on episode Chopper.
Oh, yeah. How do you condense like 1,000 episodes down into like? Because they'll try to do it. They'll try to
They will.
condense
Well,
1,000
they're-
episodes.
Yeah, it's
Down
like
to,
Jesse
like-
said. It'll be like a character introduced each episode. We'll have like Nico and Robin within like the second or third episode. Yeah.
Well, the thing with that would save a lot of the episodes would be the fight episodes, because they're like a solid 15 episodes at the time.
Mhm.
Like Luffy versus Rob Lucci was, without exaggerating, 9 episodes. I'm pretty sure that fight alone. That was just wild.
They followed the Dragon Ball formula.
Okay.
Drag this fight out as long as we possibly could.
I've got mixed feelings about Dragon Ball in general.
Yeah,
Same
learn.
here.
Yeah, learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
That was my first love. I'm always going to have affinity for it, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. It's older than us.
Yeah.
Older than. Whew.
And people are still are introduced to the actual one, like the first run, and it's like, oh, it's different from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Dragon Ball, I think, for a lot of people in our age demographic, Jack, I think that was kind of like the gateway.
Oh yeah, they're around that stretch for sure. Yeah.
So, keeping up with that for that long. I mean, One Piece is kind of in the same vein. Not
One
as
Piece is stressful to catch up to.
yeah, it is. That's why I haven't started it. Too scared.
That's
There's another pandemic.
And that's me with Black Clover. Sorry, guys. I only saw the first two.
Black Clover is really good.
Go ahead.
Continue. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, my thing with Black Clover is if you can get over like the first like 10 episodes of Asa just screaming for no reason, it's a great anime.
Yeah.
You know,
But
you,
also,
you sold me. You sold me, Kyle. That was my problem. Like, what is up with this guy?
I
Oh my
I
God.
would
enjoyed it.
skip the scenes where he was in mostly for like the first like 10, 20 episodes. That was that bad because he would scream for 10 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
I
Oh
thought
my
his scream
God.
was funny. I don't know.
I couldn't stand his voice after the stream. Oh my God. I'm
Yeah,
getting like flashbacks right now.
And especially in Japanese. I tried it in the English. English was okay. I'm like, something about this. I'm not like, is he too spunky? I don't know.
Well, see, he's one of the reasons it's like it's that kind of like shonen protagonist that kind of makes me insane,
Yeah.
where it's just like, could you calm down for like 2 seconds and listen to everybody else because they have something to teach you?
Oh, don't watch Fairy Tale.
He's a more confident Deku.
Yeah.
Deku irritates me.
See, Kyle understands.
All right. All right.
See?
Fair.
And I
First of
liked
all-
Asta, but still he got on my last nerve sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their show. They can do what they want.
Right? I get it. It's like, and I agree with you, Jesse. He was kind of like the comic relief sometimes because he's another one where it's just like he's so dumb. And it's like, oh God, you were just like, what kind of shit is he gonna get into now? Because it was always like Asta's gonna get into some shit.
He's
You
like
just know.
Naruto in that aspect, He's like he's so dumb that his stupidity is going to do something so great that we're just going to be amazed at it. Like when everyone else is running, this dumb ass is still fighting. Like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
at least-
Asta never met a fight that he didn't want to fight. It was like, there was never something where he's like, I'm gonna back down. No. He just didn't have that in him.
At least with Asta, like it's part of his like character arc, and like it's part of like
Mhm.
his main like it's part of his ideals. Because like I'm pretty sure in like the one of the first episodes, he was because has no magic, and he was telling one of the people he was fighting that my magic is not giving up,
Yeah.
and like that's one of that's his huge like character point, and like that's the point that emphasized throughout the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Deku, I don't know, he's just.
Man, okay. I was wondering if any of you guys would be in the My Hero camp. I'm not out of the camp, but I'm definitely appreciating it more for what it is camp now. Because it's not perfect. It's definitely like it has to be rushed out the door at this point. And I understand.
Yeah.
I completely understand. But for what it is, yeah, it's good. But
I think
that
season
kind of
3 was peak. I think it
Oh,
was
of
season
course.
3.
and a lot of people had difficulties seeing season 4. I was like, oh, that's a turn. Season 5 kind of got back to formula. At least I thought.
Season 5 is the one currently going on, right?
No, 6.
6 is
Oh,
out now.
6?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the second episode of Miracle kicking ass. Yeah, that's all I needed. It might be nominated for best fight of the year.
Ooh, okay. I'm waiting till like it's fully out because I can't like not binge the show because I need to
No.
watch it all in one part or else I
Same
won't
here.
watch it.
Same here. That's I missed the first couple episodes, and I finally saw the first 3 already. And for this season, I'm like, okay, it's back. It's back.
Yeah, for
But
me,
yeah, I wasn't a fan
Deku,
of season 5. That was fun.
yeah, Deku is just he's self-destructive in a way that like I don't think is beneficial to anybody. And it's like there's kind of like he's so desperate to be a hero that it's self-destructive. I don't enjoy watching him destroy himself in order to do things that other people could do easily. I can't. I was like, this is not like I like the show, but Deku, it no. Mm-mm.
Oh wait, I had a quick question. Who was saying that about they didn't like season 4? I actually really liked season 4 because I think I liked a lot of the fight scenes because
Well,
that-
in terms of like where it was going, like mostly with
okay,
Endeavor, of course, becoming more number one.
okay,
And of course, the final arc with the high school festival, that was kind of like interesting.
yeah, I don't like that.
It was finally Deku's first ever fight solo, but
Yeah, the Deku versus Gentle Criminal,
yeah, and
that was really good.
it was good. It was just a matter of like you have to view it for me, compared to the other seasons, you have to view it as a change of pace, nothing more, nothing less. And I didn't jump that hoop until season 5. I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. Because they're kind of like making sure all the characters are finally assigned their roles in a weird way. And Deku more in the sense of like, I need help. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I'm still not over the fact that One For All chose Deku instead of Lemillion because Lemillion deserved 1,000,000,000%. I love Lemillion, favorite character in the show by a large margin.
And
We're on the topic of wow. Can't say the word today. Anyway, Kenshi, the Mightiest Disciple. Have you seen it? Oh my God, you guys got some homework.
Hey, that's a first.
What was it called?
Kenshi, the Mightiest Disciple. It's literally like one of the first train them up, take them out, shonen type. Oh, it's a sleeper. It's a hidden gem. Trust me, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Is it on like the dark sites or is it like on Crunchyroll?
I think it is on Crunchyroll actually, with a couple of OVAs, I believe.
Okay.
I'll look that up.
OVAs.
But that'll definitely be a catch up that I have.
What's one more time with the title?
Kenshi, the Mightiest Disciple.
The greatest disciple. Gotcha. See,
Right.
we're taking notes, audience members.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
If
handwriting is a
you
little.
think we've seen every show, you must be insane.
It is on Crunchyroll. It is on Crunchyroll. So I have a question to pose to and Jesse, because I know you guys were both into this. What are your thoughts on Overwatch 2?
Do you want to take the lead on this, Jesse? Because I did have a lot of words. No.
Hi.
I did to calm myself down.
You know, there are a few things in life that you expect out of people.
Damn.
And one is to keep your word, first off.
Oh shit.
Yep.
And two is if you don't keep your word, not to hand me a sack of shit and say it's your word. So, well, that's what they did. And, you know, I uninstalled it. I went back to Counter-Strike.
I've uninstalled it 3 times.
I just can't. I can't. It hurt my feelings that I don't have Overwatch Original to play anymore. Like, you took that too.
Yeah.
It's not only did you give me something crappy, but you took away what I love and just was like, no, it's all gone.
Wait, you can't play Overwatch 1 anymore?
Oh no, it's
Nope.
uninstalled.
Oh,
It
fuck
was
that.
uninstalled before Overwatch 2 was pushed to you.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
those guys.
If it makes you feel better, my duo is a main tank and I'm an off tank player mostly. And so I can't do that anymore. So I've mostly switched to like support, and I hate myself every single day I play this game now because I'm still addicted to it. I'm not gonna lie. Whoever thought that Sojourn was a good idea, biggest idiot known to mankind, or Kirito, the fact that she can literally 2-shot any squishy as a support that can also run away from hell, or it can also immune any CC or any status of any kind.
You mean
That was a
Super
great
Baby
idea.
Genji?
Yeah. Oh my god. Roadhog does not die whatsoever unless you put every single resource into him. Pre-patch Genji was just an absolute demon. Especially as a support and there's no CC. That was I'm telling you, I bought this new controller for a reason. I switched back to I've been on console for a while. I was GM. I hit top 100. I even hit like top 50. I'm pretty sure. And I got placed in like diamond, which pissed me off to like hell's end. So don't even get me started on that.
Oh,
I didn't talk about this for like an hour, but I'm not going to go into that. My blood pressure's. I can feel my. I just had a notification from my watch. Your heart rate is going up really fast. Do you want to start a workout?
oh
So-
wow.
I got words of anger with this game.
I want my PVE. Damn it.
Oh wow, man. Jamal, this is sounding more and more like our Destiny conversations.
Yeah, see, and this is why, like, it's leading to a bigger video game conversation because this is one that we wanted to have.
They're making you pay for the tank. They're making you pay
Yeah.
for the new character, as if that wouldn't change the dynamics of the entire gameplay if you don't have said character.
Oh god, man, that sounds terrible.
What?
It was cool as hell though.
What? How is that?
Yeah.
thing?
So
One of the things I loved about Overwatch was that it wasn't pay to win, and the only thing you could pay for was like loot boxes and Overwatch League skins, which is cool about it because it was different from the other games that were coming out at the time.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it's just because Overwatch, I got into it around like season like 12. I was a late bloomer to the party, I know.
No,
And it was I got into it after I think Black Ops 3 or 4 was out. And I got addicted to it instantly. I was gold for like 3 seasons. Oh no, it was a season that Sigma came out that like I finally made it to like high diamond. And then I got to like masters and then GM. And then like I one tricked Sigma and I got to like top 100, top 50, I got up there. I hated myself. It was also during COVID that happened. And it was fun. Like it had its issues, don't get me wrong, but all you needed to do was nerf Echo and nerf BAP. Because the fact that BAP could literally just like not die and then make sure everyone doesn't die, and then also have more damage than Soldier on a per shot basis, pretty much, was wild. So I'm gonna Zen.
And I'm over
Jamal,
here
you
just
broke Kyle.
and I'm over here just playing Princess Connect for you guys. My mobile app.
Jack.
and then, I mean, that you know, like, because Edwin, we've talked extensively about like EA in particular and how terrible they are. But to hear that they like, I didn't know that Overwatch, they like, you can't play Overwatch 1 at all.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That
that was a
that
big shocker.
I did not know that. That's
That-
beyond anything I ever thought.
well, I don't understand.
I see you while crawling around.
I don't know how this is legal, honestly. I'm like,
Right?
how?
I don't
Why
either.
would
I
you
feel like if
Overwatch,
someone
no.
got on a class action lawsuit, I definitely would give some funds in because I feel hurt and betrayed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they erased your favorite game from reality.
Right.
It's like it is gone.
That's
It's gone.
I might
Yeah.
go buy an old disc of it just so I can know it existed. So they can't Shazam me with Simbag.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's something, all right.
Man,
that's not
that's
something
just
that
like
I knew. I didn't know. Like, I just figured it was just like, all right, here's 2, here's the beta, let's go. I didn't know that you couldn't play 1 at all. That is
No.
wild.
it makes sense in a stupid way. It's like, all right, you want the entire community to move over from one game to another, but that should happen naturally. You shouldn't just be
Right.
like, all right, you can't play that game anymore. That game does not exist anymore. You have to play this crap. That would be like telling me that, hey, you can't play Skyrim anymore. Here's Destiny. I would take whatever console I had and I would fucking throw it against the wall and I would be done. Fuck.
Oh, I deleted Elden Ring twice in the span of 4 days.
There he goes.
I-
Yep.
What's his name?
Mike,
Terrible. But
Kyle, Mike.
he's all right. He's in trouble.
Oh, shit.
I broke him. But yeah, yeah, these video game companies are getting really disrespectful with the things that they're doing, and it's
Yeah.
getting out of control.
There's nothing. They killed the co-op.
Yeah,
They killed the first person shooter. I can't even play a first person shooter without having to build something stupid or run around to an outpost and save some people I just don't want to save in order to get a gun that I didn't even want in the first place. I'm sick of it. I'm tired.
Or you said about Destiny too.
I just miss the old days. Like Halo Infinite was the biggest piece of crap.
it was.
The new Aliens game was so crap that they actually gave me a refund, bro. I didn't even have to ask. They just put it back in my account.
Wow.
That's how crappy the game was. That
Are we talking about Fire
back.
Team or
Yeah. The Fire Team game? It was the biggest load of crap I've ever seen.
Yeah, there wasn't much of a game. No, that wasn't much of a game at all.
Bro.
I think me and my cousin beat that like I don't even think it took us like 4 hours.
Oh man, you were lucky for 4 hours. I breezed through that thing like, wee. What's next? Now what do we? No, I really thought it was one of those games where you had to beat it to go on to more stuff. You know, to open up the world and multiplayer. And,
Nope.
and then it was like, bye. Are you?
Yep.
What the? No,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, and then I don't understand. There was no depth of complexity to that game. It was just like horde mode, like pretty much all the time. And I was like, why? What? Yeah, no, I agree with you, Jesse. That was Aliens Fire Team we're talking about. Kyle. It was like there was barely a game there.
No story. The levels were all black alien goo, like all the same. They just literally just overlapped them with a few different lights and different corridors, but it was generally the same space over and over again.
And those damn androids. I'm like, why is there more androids?
No, the game that I'm in love with right now, and also kind of like has made me doubt my sanity, is Elden Ring. I'm stuck on Margit. I deleted the game twice. It's currently deleted right now. I'm trying to like recuperate trying to get like my mental health back to like sanity. Cause I'm about like 4 seconds away from breaking everything in my room. If I lose him and he's like got like 3 hits left. Cause I mess up the parry or anything. So I'm just it's so beautiful, the game. It's amazing. Like I haven't played open world games that much, and it's gorgeous, like just the scenery and everything of it. But yeah. So
Yeah, don't play Skyrim. Skyrim.
Kyle, have you played Horizon Dawn?
Horizon Dawn. Hold on, let me see. I'm checking the PlayStation Store right now. I don't think I have.
Well, that's a therapeutic game.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is an amazing game.
Okay.
It gets a little repetitive, but it's it's beautiful. That game's absolutely gorgeous.
It's only $10. I'll download it.
Yeah, a little bit like Nier Automata.
Okay. Yeah, that's a beautiful game.
I'm just not playing Elden Ring because of George R. Martin. That's my whole reasoning behind it. I don't like that dude. Therefore,
I know. I texted you about it and you're like, I can't do it. George R. Martin, you ruined it.
I can't do it.
Yeah. He's never gonna finish that book.
No. And he keeps lying
right
about it. He keeps lying about it. And I'm not getting into George R. Martin again. He's a big liar.
Well, he gets mad that people say, it's like, don't get mad when people are upset that you might die. Like he's in his 80s, isn't he?
Something.
How old is
he?
He's old.
Drinking from the fountain of youth to continue putting out these trash books. Because didn't he just come out with like another Wild Cards graphic novel or something?
I don't doubt it.
It's stupid.
Well, he's banking on House of Dragon now, and especially I want to do a novella. Get the fuck out.
Come out with book 6 that you've been talking about for 10 years, saying it's done. I'm almost finished. I hate this dude. He's a liar. He
I
made
can't forgive him at all,
Yeah.
ever.
oh,
Because like,
but
how do you have like a
I would have done
10-year
the
head
show
start?
differently. No, duh, you would have done the show differently. Because you've seen
I
how it
wasn't
turned
saying-
out. Come out with the book. They would have done it the way you did it in the book. But you didn't want to come out with the book. I hate this dude. I hope he burns.
How do you have a 10-year lead on a book and you don't finish it, and then the show goes to like, is this? I don't know. It's not trustworthy. The show is shit. It turns to shit. Quite simply, House of Dragons. I'm not really a fan of it right now. I don't know why.
No, House of Dragons is okay. It's just a matter of like, are the writers going to care long enough? I'm hoping it's at least like 3 seasons. They're rushing everything they can, so it seems like they're at least having a plan. I'm optimistic.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it has been renewed for a second season.
Yeah, and I'm hoping for at least 3. Like, I'm tired. Like, I know we've been talking about One Piece and Dragon Ball. They'll continue on to the ends of times, but there's some certain mediums, some certain stories that need to end. And Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, definitely in that camp.
Man, Game of Thrones was too popular. It was
Yeah.
too popular. It was
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
popular. It was
It got
huge.
too big to where they couldn't cancel it.
Well, you knew they. Well, I you know, like I had to bow out because the violence just got to be too much for me, so I didn't finish it. But I know everybody that finished it was unhappy with it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
As someone who went to the bar for the finale, let me
Mhm.
tell you, I was pissed.
Well,
I
I
was
watched
just
it with my
like,
mom.
bro, you just said you didn't want to do that. And now look at you. What is happening? Why would you're a lie? What? So, you know what? Cool.
I watched it with my
Yeah.
mom because my mom got me into it, and we were both pissed off. She liked it, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Like, how-
Yeah. If like Jamal said, if he would have finished it, it would have been done. Everybody would have been a lot happier. But yeah, now that ship sailed.
you throw away 8 years of like character development.
Yeah.
And then you throw the people under the bus. Like I would have done it differently. You
Yeah,
had the opportunity
finish the
to.
fucking book.
You had the opportunity to.
Excuse my language, but yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay, Kyle. This is the after hour special.
Losing my sanity over here.
Can't.
Oh,
1 second.
I just think it's funny that I like drove him and Jesse crazy with Overwatch and then Game of Thrones.
You broke them, Jamal. This is what you do. This is what you do.
It's fun.
This is what Jamal does. He breaks people.
Yeah, he does it at work too. He just irritates me randomly. I'd always be like, I need to just like talk to someone. I've been staring at a screen for like the past 4 hours. And it's just like, what you think you're doing? You are not him. Because I'm in my like God complex era where I think I am him. And it's just constantly getting shut down by Jamal. So
Oh yeah, Jamal will knock you down a few pegs, and what you have to understand about Jamal is he's always ready to debate people. Always.
and to always swerve you too. You think one way, but it'll be the other way. And my grandpa was like that too. Jamal definitely reminds me a lot of my grandpa in that regards. It'll be like a casual conversation. Be like, well, what do you think about that side of it? He stirs the pot.
Oh yeah,
I'm a pop
Jamal is
star.
definitely.
I'm a pop
Yeah.
star. I agree.
Mhm.
Also, Jamal's like the biggest Ryan Reynolds fan.
Oh,
Yeah, I love Ryan Reynolds the same way you love Overwatch too.
oh, that hurts.
Oh.
Oh, that hurts.
Why
You gonna?
Overwatch used to be good, so
Yeah. You know what? You know what? Yeah, Overwatch is better because Ryan Reynolds was never good. So
some disrespect right now.
I can't stand
You
Ryan.
habitual line stepper.
Oh,
We were just talking about Detective Pikachu.
You
He
did
was
you-
always Pikachu.
I taught him that.
you did. You had to.
He doesn't know about Chappelle's show. I had to teach him.
No.
I'm literally was watching that.
Or which sketch? Any favorite sketches so far?
I have my favorite sketch. It's very Mine is I know black people. That one. That's my favorite one. Slash the oh, what's the one called? It's the such and such is also funny. Or the
The racial draft. The
Yeah.
racial draft is my favorite. I love that one. We the Jews select Lenny Kravitz.
Hey man, don't talk about them right now. You'll get canceled.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
You will get Kyrie Irving up in here. It's not funny today. It's not funny today. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
I was on Twitter and I was confused on how that got turned on white people. I'm like, Kyrie said it. How did that just turn into white supremacy? I was so confused.
Hmm?
Twitter's not this.
I think the whole situation.
This is like after hours. Talk.
This is supposed to be a fun anime show.
Yeah, I was so confused.
The whole situation is very confusing to me.
Yeah, because I thought he just endorsed like a movie. I was so
I
confused.
think everybody in this situation is wrong. So that's where I go.
Well, I think nowadays so many people are trying so hard to like. It feels like everybody has not an agenda, but they're rushing to either like call somebody out on something and crucify somebody or cancel somebody, and it just feels like it turns into a mess because you don't know like where people, they don't bother to figure out where people are coming from or where people aren't coming from, and people will say people will say or do something, and it gets put through like the blender of social media, and you're just like, what the fuck?
It is toxic progressivism.
Oh Lord.
That's what it is.
Jamal
It's
making
a
up
lot-
his stuff.
It's a lot of people faking, like it's a
Now
lot
that
of
I can agree
people
on.
who prove
Yeah.
that they're progressive and they're thinking forward and whatnot, and they're policing things that they don't even know about.
Mhm.
So that's what it is to me. Like when the whole Kyrie Irving thing first started, you cannot tell me that not one person that was sitting there asking him questions read that book or watched a second of that movie to even point out what was said. Not one of them. So
Yeah.
how are you going to sit there and levy these claims on somebody?
Mm-hmm.
But conversely, dude, you put it on Twitter. You put it on your social media. You have millions of people that follow you. Anything you put on social media is a promotion. It's an endorsement.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't live it that way, we're taking it that way. So, you can't do it. But then both him and then the other side, the people that was accusing him, both contradicted each other because they're like, on one hand, he's like, well, I have a voice for my community and I'm going to use it. And then at the end of the interview, he's like, I don't have this kind of power to just say all this stuff and make it. But it's like, you just said you did. And then on the other side, they say, well, this thing, it was terrible. I read an article today where hundreds of like celebrities and whatnot were writing letters and signed a petition to have it taken off of Amazon and whatnot, because one of the reasons why it says that the Jews have all this power and we don't, but you're flexing the power that you have by getting this stuff pulled. So you do have it. So everybody in this situation is wrong. At the end of the day, there's going to be people on this side that says, yeah. So you get a situation now where all these people that was like, yo, Kyrie kind of messed up, is now moving to the other side because the punishment is way too harsh. So on one hand, you have Myers Leonard, NBA player, not a star player, but NBA player. He put a Twitch live stream. He says something anti-Semitic. He says a slur for everybody to hear and see. They cut him. He's on the Thunder today. He didn't have to apologize. He didn't have to make donations here. He didn't have to meet with anybody. He didn't have to, he just took his lashings. He missed a few game checks, and now he's back. But you want this dude who didn't even say a slur. You're just saying that something that he put out there is promoting something that you don't like. And you want this dude to donate this amount of money to this league, meet with this rabbi who is this random rabbi that everybody's supposed to meet with now. Anytime somebody does something to black people, I don't see them saying you got to meet with Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah.
He's got to do this. So it's like the punishment is too harsh. So now you're starting this whole race war where it's like on this side, black people are like, look, we can't make a mistake because this is what happens. Kyrie has to do all this stuff to get reinstated. Kanye loses all of this money. He can't. When was the last time a bank said you had to take your money out of here? Like these.
Yeah, that was. Oh wait, we worked for that. We tend to say that.
Yeah, and then and I'm not a Kanye fan, but then on the other side, it's like, if you do wrong, you should be punished. But at the end of the day, what should come of everything is understanding. I messed up. This is where I was coming from. I've already said I'm not anti-Semitic. This is where I'm coming from. This is the stuff that I agree with. This is the stuff I don't agree with. Where did I offend you? What can I do to make this better? We can do that. But
yeah, I feel like the Kyrie thing just got blown out of proportion.
Yeah. Instead, people
because he's been named.
flex the power that they have to send out a few tweets and to get somebody, quote, canceled. But you can't cancel everybody. They've tried to cancel Dave Chappelle for about 5 years now. He's uncancelable. He doesn't care.
He dodges laser beams.
He just keeps going. They tried their hardest to cancel Louis C.K. Didn't the dude just win an Oscar or a Grammy or an Emmy or something?
Yeah.
It was comedy album. You try to cancel these people because you don't like what they say or do. I'm not getting into the Louis C.K. thing because I think that's really
Yeah.
That was
a weird thing to try to cancel someone over.
I'm not even a fan of Dave Letterman as well. I'm surprised he wasn't initially canceled as well.
But again, this has gone far more political.
Yeah.
If anything that I've said before hasn't gotten this podcast canceled, this will. But
Jamal's always bringing the controversy.
No.
It is what it is. Look, man, we just need to get to a place of understanding.
I agree.
And the first thing that we need to do in order to understand is acknowledge. And unfortunately, in this country, people do not want to acknowledge the problems that we have.
No.
These things exist. Does racism exist? Yes. Does sexism exist? Yes. Does homophobia exist? Yeah. All this stuff exists, but they only allow for one thing to exist at a time. Now you cannot say or do anything in any way that's negative to women. The Me Too thing is real, and you cannot put anything in jeopardy like that, or you are done for. Before that, it was homophobia. Always go back to race, but it's always like one group that's getting like the focus.
SNL, man. Like if you look at the retrospective SNL, like Dave Chappelle was like literally a bottom tier compared to what SNL got away with in the 70s. 80s,
Oh
90s.
man.
Yeah,
they had to tone it down way down. That you watch classic SNL, man, and that stuff, the stuff they used to get away with, you can't do that stuff now.
That's what I mean. And Dave Chappelle was like at the mountaintop, and it's almost like the progression of it. It's just a different perspective. And like Jamal said, acknowledging at least that these are things that are so constant. And for another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 100 years, it's going to be an ongoing battle.
Acknowledge that it's happening, but then conversely, we have to acknowledge that back in the time previously, these things that people said and did, it was a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we gotta stop digging up stuff from 20 years ago that, like, Eddie Murphy, you cannot watch Eddie Murphy Raw today.
I know.
Like, it's a great comedy special, but the things that dude says in there, it would not fly today.
No.
But you
I don't have
can't
a question.
conversely, I got you in a second, but you can then conversely vilify this dude today over what was acceptable yesterday. All we can say is, hey, look, man, that worked today, it didn't work. That worked yesterday, it doesn't work today. I know that. I won't do that moving forward. I don't think this way about these people, whatever. That's the way to do it, instead of like digging up this old stuff and being like, ooh, see, look at this. And that's part of the problem with social media. People got too much time on their hands to dig for other people's dirt. But I grew up in the church, and there's a song by the Williams brothers called "Sweep Around Your Own Front Door" before you try to sweep around mine. So stop digging up dirt on everybody unless you want to come out with your own. I'm off my soapbox.
And what was your question?
Did you just say you're off your soapbox? Is that a reference to
TED
I
Talk.
can't remember. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else. Oh no, but like I'm like a little under, and I didn't really pay attention to like when like cancel culture was really like coming out. When did that really start? Like the whole like the jokes that were made in the past like stop being acceptable. When did that start to happen?
Me too. Me too definitely began like the social media outcry thing. But it's also kind of things we've been rumbling about. And it almost became
Wasn't
like
that what's his face? That not that he wasn't a director, he was a movie producer, right?
well, for me too, yeah. Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein was Me Too, but that was cancel culture before Weinstein.
Yeah.
Because
with typical Gore in the 90s with video games, with arcade games.
It wasn't the 90s. This is the
last decade.
2010s thing. Yeah, this is last decade that this started. Because like I could think of like Kevin Hart not being able to do the Oscars because of some old jokes that he said on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that past decade.
Yeah, so I think of stuff like that. The Louis C.K. thing, which kind of folds into the Me Too thing.
Wasn't there a congressman who was originally an actor on SNL who got canceled for some old photos that he did?
Al Franken.
Al Franken. Yeah, he got canceled for I don't know, making lewd gestures in some photo.
Yeah.
And yeah, he resigned because of that.
Really?
And that was, I want to say that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Just before Me Too. I would say at least 1 or 2 years.
Yeah. So but I think it's relatively recent in that it's within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It definitely exploded, like you said, within the last 10 years due to social media.
Yeah.
Social media has a heavy impact on this whole cancel culture thing.
Continue.
We might be watching the death spiral of Twitter, which is kind of shocking.
I seen that coming. I told everybody, as soon as Elon Musk bought that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
People thought that Twitter would overtake Facebook. Even Facebook's being steady, and Facebook's even worse, I would argue.
I mean, you can make the argument that Twitter has overtaken Facebook. I think
so.
I think kids.
I think so.
Well, yeah, but more in a sense of like Facebook annoyingly still stayed steady. That one should have been phased out years ago. But
no, I mean Facebook isn't going. I mean, it's not MySpace. Facebook is never going to go anywhere because they have so many different things.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook kind of became everybody's. I mean, it started out for college kids, but Facebook became this is just like your parents and your grandparents are on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It became more a family book.
Yeah,
It's for the older people now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh,
That's why
my
that's why
version
I'm
older
surprised-
people.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised it's still not phased out because it's more of older people and younger people are like, okay, I'll do Vine to Snapchat to TikTok, but Facebook's still there.
Yeah.
Facebook isn't going to go anywhere. I mean, when you have the older people there, it's it's something for them to do. It's easier.
Yeah. Because
Well, it's a
MySpace
good
was-
way to stay in touch with like,
Yeah.
to see the baby photos and the wedding pictures and like the blah de blah and it's like become part of society where I mean, like, it's not official until it's Facebook official. I mean, when you're dating, it's like it's just that part of society. I don't think Twitter. I think Twitter was just the place where everybody could shout at each other. And I think that's the place where the conversation was. I don't think Facebook anymore was where the conversation was being had.
Right.
Twitter was the place where the conversation about everything was being had. And now it's like that's just over.
So I think Twitter is where a lot of instantaneous things happen. So I think Twitter is where like a lot of news breaks and everything.
Mhm.
So you got that. Instagram, I think it's what the kids kind of use now. I think like that's a social media thing.
I feel like TikTok is kind of overtaking Instagram.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
TikTok does.
Yeah, TikTok is, but TikTok is not. Would
I
you
love
classify TikTok as social media?
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely
but I
consider.
mean, it is with the videos, but people don't really interact on there. They just watch other people's content. I think.
I mean, the comment section and sharing is everything is huge.
Yeah, that's where everything happens, Jamal.
I mean, it like. Do people interact on TikTok other than like what I see TikTok as more of a content creation thing.
It's like a new way of communicating.
Media.
Like you don't exactly talk. It's more like showing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, have you seen this TikTok? Let me send it to you.
Oh, but the comment threads, I mean, sometimes just reading the comment threads is more interesting than the TikTok itself.
Yeah, the same thing.
I
with
think that's everywhere though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reddit and Immigrant as well. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
it's
Edgar,
send,
wow, that's still around.
Yeah, it's kind of, but
What
it's
is?
kind. It's his own subculture kind of thing, so nobody really cares.
wait, what, Tumblr?
No,
No,
Imager.
Imgur. That's where I mostly get my memes. But it's very political now because it's like constant. And I'm like, I'm good. Because a lot of it's Spanish, so I'm like, I'm good.
I was watching okay, one of the good things on Netflix.
Oh God, if we're going to do that discussion, oh.
They had a documentary series, and oh my goodness, I can't remember what it was called. But they were talking about the impact that Facebook ads have on political political campaigns. And so there was this one place called like Quantum something, whatever, Cambridge
Analytica.
Analytica. You saw the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Oh, with Espionage, whoever his name is.
What happened?
Oh no, I'm getting confused with the.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. So Cambridge. so
Julian Espionage, that jerk.
No, this didn't have to do with him.
Okay.
So it was about Cambridge Analytica. They were hired, so they started placing these Facebook ads. So like they were talking about an election in like a Latin American country, I think. And how they just started placing these Facebook ads that people kept seeing, and it completely influenced the election. And they were talking about how now these Facebook ads are generating so much influence in the political sphere, like where everybody's like, Russian interference, But it's like, no, these ads, people are seeing these ads over and over again and believing them and clicking on them. And this is influencing people to vote that way. And it's overwhelmingly Republican. Not to say that there's anything against that. This is not a political podcast. I'm just saying that's the research that was done in this documentary. And with the older demographic on Facebook, with people that may not be as technologically inclined to see these things, they may take that as a real thing. It could have influence over people, and it has. I don't remember what the documentary was called. Was that Dark Money or something?
No, I can't remember.
I don't remember what it was called. It was a very good documentary. If I could remember what it's called, I'd plug it. But it was interesting. So like when
we talked about the endorsements. If you post anything online, it's an endorsement.
That's right, Jamal.
It's true.
You brought that up yourself.
Free advertising.
It is true. I mean, especially if you don't say anything. Post something and then you add a comment to it, then that's one thing. If you just post something, I mean, it is what it is. If I were to just post a book.
Yeah, I posted a picture of the mangas I bought at Mitsuwa on Twitter.
You broke the cardinal rule. But.
Oh.
Nerded over it.
I enjoyed. Did you guys watch the Enola Holmes movies?
Not yet, but I've been meaning to.
Okay, I enjoyed both of them. The second one is out.
Is that the one with 11 in it?
With what?
11 from Stranger Things?
Yeah,
yes.
In The Witcher.
Okay.
Yes.
I ain't watching it.
Oh, Henry Cavill's in there?
Yeah, he plays Sherlock Holmes.
And mind you, I say Witcher, not Superman.
He's not
Hello,
he's not in The Witcher anymore.
Yeah,
that's
No.
the ugly one brother. What's it?
He'll be there for the third season, but he won't be there for the fourth season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just finished production on the third, right?
What happened?
They just finished production on the third, I'm pretty sure. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that what had happened is I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I know that he's a big fan of the source material, whether it be the game or the books. And apparently the production, the writers especially, were mocking and making fun of the books. So that may be part of why he left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that he was really like they disrespected it pretty much, and like he's big into like he's a nerd. That's what he described himself as, and that's what I call myself a nerd.
He builds his own PCs.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, it's like, and that's one of the things about Netflix. It's like they try so hard to get people to watch them, but sometimes you feel like it's like, don't make fun of the people who are watching your show. It's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's like it's so fucking aggravating, because it's like, that they're producing these shows because they want to get the fan base to watch it.
Yeah.
But then your writers are making fun of the source material. It's like, Jesus, come on. I mean, like, are you stupid?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't, like, it's like that shitty Cowboy Bebop. It's like, you want the fans to watch it, but at the same time, it's almost you're saying, fuck you. We know that you love this, but fuck you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Jamal made a point in one of your earlier videos that Netflix needs to either commit to either being a like content creation or content like
Distributor.
And like they're really, that fat's really becoming coming to light now, because everything that they create really pretty much now is pretty bad, or it's mediocre at best.
I think they create so much that it's hard for them to be like, Netflix is very well. I think one of the problems with Netflix is that nobody really had any idea what a streaming, it's kind of like, all right, you want to be a streaming service.
What is a streaming
is a
service?
streaming service? I mean, we didn't have a definition for that,
Right.
until just recently. And so I think that's one of the things about Netflix. It's like it struggles to define that. It struggles to define what is a streaming service. Is it a streaming service something that provides you something that distributes like content created by other studios, or is it a studio itself, or is it both? And I think Netflix tries to be both. They try to distribute content by other creators because it's popular, and at the end of the day, that's what I mean. They have Seinfeld again, because they know they that's something that they know people want to watch, and they will subscribe to Netflix in order to watch that. But at the same time, they know if they don't, they create their own content, because then they don't have to pay somebody else for that content. Once it's created, that's theirs. They don't have to pay for it. But the thing is they create enough where they can keep people coming back to watch what it is they have? And I don't think so. I don't think they've created something yet. Like, I think that Stranger Things was one of their biggest shows, but
Stranger
how
Things
many
kinda weird
times,
lately?
huh?
It's kind of, I don't know. It kind of got old. I feel like
Yeah.
it's just the same setup every time. It's just gonna end with 11 screaming and hair going wild with a bloody nose at the end of the series, at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And everything 80s. It has to be epic to the bone with 80s nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of shot itself in the foot by by following the same formula over and over and over again. And that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't have a show where it's like you keep going back to it because it entertains you. Like they don't have a Friends or a Seinfeld or an Office, or what's the other show?
Oh, it's even Cheers, even
Hurts
like
me
Yeah.
that you said Friends, because
Yeah,
Friends,
just one of those shows that people will keep watching forever because it brings them
Or
comfort or it
Frasier.
makes them laugh or whatever. And Netflix still, they're just struggling.
they are. They don't have an idea, and I get it. It's a lot easier for everybody else because they're just spinning off their own content.
Hmm.
You got HBO. We have this whole catalog of HBO stuff. We got Paramount and whatever,
Disney.
Disney. They all have their own catalog of stuff that they can build off of. Netflix doesn't really have that, so I understand the content creation portion of it, but their content creation philosophy seems to just be, all right, this is a big property over here. Let's bring this over here and make something of it. So you get an anime, let's make a live action of it.
Oh
Sherlock
God.
Holmes, we're gonna do Enola Holmes. Like it's just regurgitating these things where it's like it's Xbox. It's Xbox. We can't come up with our own content. So we're just gonna buy everybody that makes this stuff.
Or just keep remaking it until it becomes bad.
And then Netflix shot themselves in the foot because with this ad-supported tier, you don't even get all the content.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could get Seinfeld if you get the ad, if you have the ad tier. You don't get the new Enola Holmes. You don't get all the original content. It's like, well, why? What am I watching then? I don't even get all of your original content. Why?
That makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes no sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that the streaming model works. I don't think that a streaming service can make enough money. I think it would be too expensive to be without ads, honestly, because that's the way television used to work. Television, the ads paid for the shows.
Yeah.
The ads paid for the shows, and if your show got too expensive, it got canceled. Netflix doesn't do that. It's like, yeah.
It's one of their
And
big
so-
selling points, though. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Well, I mean, like if you're paying $6.99 a month it's like that's great for them because that's, you know, that's money that they have coming in every month. But at the same time, how much does $6.99 buy you of a show?
Right.
You
And
know,
not
it's
to mention
like,
all the password sharing.
right? Yeah,
But and
they're going after that.
Yeah, and I think that's why, to your point, that's why they don't have those bigger shows on there. Because it's like, yeah, it's $6.99. You could pay for this ad space, but you know, Seinfeld would bring in a lot of viewers.
Hmm.
But at $6.99, we ain't getting our money's worth out of that.
No, at $6.99, it's like you're getting the basic
Right.
stuff with whatever they feel, whatever they want to show you from their catalog. And it's like, to me, it's not worth it.
To me neither. I don't get what it's not worth it to the subscriber, and I don't see why it's worth it to anybody with the ad that's selling an ad.
Yeah, because you're not
I'm
bringing
selling an
anybody in.
ad. I want to put an ad in the middle of Seinfeld. I
Yeah.
want to put an ad in the middle of
Well, the thing is, too, you could charge
3,000.
as Netflix. You would think that's, you know, and that's the crazy part, because as Netflix, you would think they would do that. You know, it's like, oh, we have Seinfeld now. All right, show us the money.
Right.
Show us the money. You know, Nissan, you want to have commercials in Seinfeld again? Show us the money. You know, whatever the product is, you know, it's like you want to have, you know, you have so many eyeballs on this show, show us the money. And then, you know, or like like with Stranger Things, I keep going back to that because it's one of their most popular.
Mhm.
But like, it's like, can you imagine if they had episode breaks in Stranger Things, and then, you know, they had commercials? People would be paying them a shit ton of money.
Right.
Instead, you'll probably get like 3 commercials, like Hulu. Oh my God.
I can't
Hulu,
stand Hulu.
right?
Because
They're
not only do you have to pay for it, you have to also pay for the ad-free version. Like what?
Yeah. And then, well, if you pay the lower one and watch the ads are terrible.
It's like a minute long, 2 each. There's 2 of them.
And they're always for the weirdest shit. And the commercials are all weird.
Yeah.
YouTube is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is the same
I
way.
have YouTube Premium, so I don't know.
I have
I won't go
YouTube
back.
as well, but my YouTube is different from your YouTube.
It's the mind tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting ads at all, and I'm not paying for it. So
Same.
but see, my philosophy is, if I'm streaming something, I am not dealing with ads. That day is over.
Yeah.
So I will pay the extra money for the ad free, but just know that I don't have to give you a red cent, because these streets is open.
Well, I'm telling you,
I
Jamal,
can get whatever I want in these streets.
I don't think that the streaming
Just like me, for real.
Yeah, okay.
I
You
don't think that the
think
streaming I don't think streaming as an industry can survive without ad money.
It's gotten to that point.
Yeah, I don't think that they can keep reducing the number of shows, or the number of shows to draw people in and like definitively win
Mhm.
without that ad money.
Yeah, I think of it like streaming music. Like, how do you quantify a view? How do you make money off of a view? In the same way, like if I would come out with an album, how do I make money off of a stream? I listen to a song, where's the money? How do I make money off that? Before I go to the store, I buy this CD or this cassette or this vinyl or this 8-track. I'm making money off of this. Somebody bought this, they're listening to it. Now it's like all these streaming apps is just like, all right, listen to what you want. How do I make money off of each song?
You get the money from the streaming service.
You get the money from the streaming service, but how do they get money from it? The ad.
Advertising. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, all right, so how do I qualify? All right, you're getting this. So you, for each spin you get, you get this piece of an ad, and it's going to be this small percentage of things. And the same thing with the podcast. It's like all this stuff. It's like,
Let's see. Here's what you're missing. International.
yeah,
Different laws, different licenses, different money. Still all Netflix, baby.
very true.
Still all
Oh, yeah.
Netflix. You ever notice the amount of Bollywood that's popped up on Netflix recently?
I have
It ain't for us, baby. But they still
Nope.
getting views. They still getting more viewers off of that.
Yeah.
Also, the original content, you're saying advertisement, but there is advertisement in those original content. You just don't see it because they don't want you to see it. That Coca-Cola placement,
Yeah.
that well-bottled Gatorade,
Yep.
that nice car. Man, they're doing it. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, internationally, I mean, you're talking about bigger subscriber numbers too.
Mhm. That's very true. And
Yeah,
that's-
because you're just talking about bigger population numbers too.
Different rates and different shows, like Netflix in
Mhm.
Japan, you can watch anime the day it's there. So that's a good service to have if you
Yep,
want to stream your
NordVPN coming
anime.
in clutch.
There you go, right, Kyle? Get those get
Shout
the
out.
VP, get that VPN in there. You can
Yeah.
watch yep.
whatever VPN is out there, why don't you come over here? Sell us a spot.
There you go.
Definitely, we have to consider the streaming services as a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cable was a US thing, you know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
different stations, but streaming doesn't have those boundaries, so you can't compare the two. It's not even
No.
because you're
Yeah.
you're comparing a little region to cable, and let me tell you, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right. Once you get into that
People
region,
watch cable anymore?
yeah, I watch cable. I don't pay for it. I mean,
I don't watch cable. My mom is the only one in the house that watches cable. I'm all at this point, I the only thing I watch is streaming.
the only thing I watch on cable is like a live event, and that live event is 9 times out of 10 going to be a sport.
Mm,
That's
okay.
not-
So now look at the situation, man. I remember when I worked at Rent Center when everything went digital, we had to, we were getting TVs off, just selling off the shelves. Those TVs are now smart TVs selling
Right.
off the shelf. That same 32 inch is now going to have Netflix on it.
Yep.
So now you're telling them that those little old people, those little old ladies that their grandsons and their granddaughters got them those TVs. They can just click it, watch it, and just get the revenue off the ads. There you go.
Yeah, and I noticed with the smart TVs, they put the ads like in the loading screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So Netflix knows what they're doing because they're on every television. You don't even have to sign up, and you might just see a show you like.
They know what they're doing, and they don't. They don't.
Hey, man,
They
they
don't
let
have
kill
to live
Blockbuster.
prices.
They won't be the street. I don't think that my money's on Netflix, man. They've taken out movie theaters and other things before. They'll do it again.
Oh, they won the streaming wars.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
won the
They
war,
won
but
the streaming wars, but the thing is it's like, can they
heavy
stay
is
on
the
top?
head that wears the crown,
Yeah, can they stay on top?
and that's where I think they're struggling because they were the first to do it, and now you got to
They're
stay.
trying to
Who's coming
readjust.
close to what Netflix is doing?
That depends on what you want. Like Netflix has been around longer.
Mhm.
They got a much larger subscriber base.
They
Just
don't have
out
to
of
be
just out of sheer length of time. But a lot of these places, Hulu and Disney are growing, and they're both under the same umbrella. So you
Disney's
really
not
want
gonna
to
grow
count
that.
those numbers together.
I don't think Disney Plus cannot grow that much. They put themselves in a position where they just don't have the option to grow that much. What else can they give us? Bro, you can only stretch Star Wars so freaking far. Okay.
That's why they're coming out with an Indiana Jones show.
But you have to consider Disney.
And Bleach.
Disney owns all of that stuff.
I
So
know they
all
own
of
a lot, but they
all of
have to give
Disney
us
stuff-
the same quality every time, and that is expensive.
My
No.
point is Disney owns Disney. They also own Hulu. They own ESPN. They own 21st Century Fox. They own all of that stuff. So you really have to count their numbers all together because they're just segmenting their audiences into
Yeah.
They really
But
are.
I mean,
monopoly.
So I get where you're saying, like, they can only stretch Star Wars so far. That's on Disney. Like, Bleach is on Hulu, but in other countries, it's on Disney, right? So they have these
Bleach is on
different
Disney?
services where they could bounce things from here to here. They never used to put any of their ESPN Plus content on HBO. Now it's on Disney Plus.
bro, let's
They
be
have the
serious.
ability
Not
to
one
go-
real anime fan was planning on watching Bleach on Disney Plus.
No.
Stop it.
but
Stop it.
they
Who-
bought
they get
the right.
Who,
They bought
who
the
was
right.
like, who is sitting at their desk like right now, like, oh man, I can't wait for this to drop on Disney Plus. Oh, this is
I
gonna be
did not even
great.
know it was on Disney Plus.
Whoever is not on Disney Plus
I guess Kyle's generation is apparently.
in the United States.
Don't lump me with the rest of them.
Bleach is on Hulu in the United States, and overseas it's on Disney Plus. But that's my thing. That's what I'm saying. They bought the rights to Bleach, so they've taken Bleach off of everything else. You want to watch Bleach, you got to come here.
We're not going to talk about animes going to jail right now. That's going to upset me.
Oh,
We are not going to talk about animes going to jail.
that's so sad.
Dude,
Oh,
ridiculous.
we've had that discussion before with
Comey.
Kamuy.
Wait, what happened with Tommy?
They almost did that with Comey. They almost, because Netflix, they it's the binge model. It's not the weekly model. And so they were
Yeah.
going to do that with Comey. And it still came out later than it did in Japan. But we still got the weekly, thankfully, where we could watch Comey, on a weekly basis. But yeah.
Uncle from Another World as well. The only two I could think of.
Is season 2 of Tommy fully out? Because I've been waiting to fully binge it.
Was it season
Yeah.
2? It was like part 2 of season 1. It was one of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's out. It's done.
I don't know,
Read
I-
the manga. Read the manga too. Hey.
Random thought since we're on Netflix animes. Tomorrow Lives Alone. Probably one of the most tear-jerking animes I've ever seen. This anime, have you guys seen this? Please write this down and go watch this for next time.
I'm writing this down right now, man.
We should do an episode of tear jerkers because let me tell you, this little anime here just had you just like, this is really messed up, but funny. But now I don't know how to feel. This little kid's so sad.
Wait, is that the one where the 3-year-old is like living in his own apartment?
Yes, bro, it's wild. It's not even wild. It's just an emotional roller coaster. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like so this kid is living alone in his
essentially
apartment.
Naruto without the fights.
Huh? No, 100%. Yeah. Yes.
That's
Oh,
pretty
useless.
funny. That's pretty funny.
It's definitely a
Am I the
slice of
only one here who
life
doesn't
for
like
the Kamuy.
Naruto?
What happened?
Am I the only one here who does not like Naruto? I'm not a fan of
hates
Naruto.
it. Naruto, like it. That's another one of those things. Like the natural progression was you go from Dragon Ball to Naruto, right? So,
Who makes these progressions?
huh?
I said, who makes these progressions? Because I went from like Sailor Moon to Tenchi Muyo to like watching like Gantz and stuff. Like, dude, no, this doesn't.
Well, I think you're different. I
Yeah.
think you're more in like the Edwin vein, where like Sailor Moon gave you the anime bug and you were just seeking out anything. I think the people that like make those progressions are the ones that's just like, oh, okay, I've seen this, and they're they're what I call the casuals. They're the people that's like, all right, I'm not going to consume the amount of stuff that you guys do, and I'm not going to go from this level to this, but I will watch this. Oh, you said this is like that? All right, I'm going to watch that.
I think that's the important caveat of that. If they want something that's similar.
Right.
Like I think me and Jesse will look for something that's good,
Yeah.
like something that we like or something that's good, regardless of like what genre that it falls into. But like for some people, when they come in, like if they start with shonen, they want to stay in shonen.
Right.
They don't want to branch out to isekai. They don't want to branch out to slice of life. You know, they don't want to branch out into anything else. They want to stay in their lane. Where you know, like me and Jesse we'll jump lanes to watch whatever it is that you know that we think we'll like.
Actually, I gotta like, what's I'm looking for? Like, disagree with you for that one because that's literally the exact role that I went. I went from starting with Attack on Titan. Pokemon technically was my first anime, but Attack on Titan was what really made me get into anime.
Okay.
Because I went from like a bunch of shonens. I went from Attack on Titan to Sword Art Online, which is literally that exact change to Toradora, which is literally the slice of life pretty much / romance anime.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stuck in romance for a bit, and then I went to shonen again, and then I went to mini isekai like Frenzy, and then I went back to shonen, and now I'm kind of just like wandering everywhere.
But see, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You wanted to watch something that you liked and enjoyed.
Right.
You didn't just stay, you know, you weren't closed-minded and said, I like Dragon Ball. I only want to watch shows like Dragon Ball.
Right.
You said, I want to watch, you're like, hey, I'll watch this, or I'll watch this. And you were open to that. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, I was at first the anime hater. I was one of those people that like made fun of people for watching anime, and then I got into it, and then I had to take it all back. I won't lie.
A lot of
Kyle, Kyle, that happens to me with shows all the time. I will say that I'm not going to watch this show, or I'll watch the first episode, and then Jack comes to me and says, hey, Jack, you got to watch, or he says, hey, Edwin, you got to watch this. And then I'll watch it and I'll love it. And so, yeah, Kyle, don't feel bad.
Okay.
No shame. It's part of growth. I mean,
Yeah, don't feel bad because we argued with Jack for about 45 minutes about the chorus recoil and his hatred for
I don't hate
it. So don't feel bad.
The thing with Licorice Recoil is we have to figure out who watched John Wick that Jack doesn't agree with. Because then I think we'll get down to the bottom of the mystery.
I think so.
Yeah, you guys are tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch Blue Lagoon. That's the thing. That's what I'm gonna watch next. Or Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon. Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
did
good
an
one.
episode on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was. Yeah, that's a rough. No, it's just really good.
I'm definitely. I know because I've been watching this YouTuber called CJ the Champ, and he did one of the videos on it, and I was like crying of laughter at that video. So I'm actually gonna try.
Yeah, and we did an episode of the podcast on that, and yeah, rewatching that was a lot of fun. It's a nice, violent. It's nice and violent and fun.
Those two words don't really mix together.
Nice and
I know.
Slice of
Well,
life violent.
It's like it's not overly violent. It's like you know, it's violent and gory, but it doesn't get like you don't walk away feeling uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like some shows are violent, like Elfin Lied. There were times where I'm like, Jesus Christ, why am I watching this? You know, I'm like, this is
Some seasons Jujutsu Kaisen made me feel that way. I'm not gonna lie.
I can see that. I can see that. Jujutsu Kaisen has its moments. I've just watched like crazier stuff than that. Even Gantz is like Jesse brought up Gantz, and like Gantz sometimes was like, whoa.
Yeah, I meant more so like the Shibuya incident stuff. That's what I was like, oh Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So
No spoilers.
that was, yeah, that's why I didn't say anything. I was just saying the Shibuya incident. Because that is going to be the next arc that comes out, and I'm very excited for that.
So I just watched the trailer for this Licorice Recoil. This looks
Mhm.
pretty good. I'm gonna check this out.
You ever seen Full Metal Panic before, Jesse? Or yeah, Jesse.
No, I have not.
He
It-
keeps wanting to make this Full Metal Panic thing happen.
You have to see it to get my side. I mean,
Watch,
I'm telling you.
you know, don't listen to Jack. Watch Licorice Recoil. I think it's one that you will like. I think it's one that you will like.
I agree.
Edwin, take it away. Convincing.
Jesse, from the shows from your outlook on anime and some of the shows that you've mentioned, I think you'll enjoy this a lot. I think you'll be cracking up, man. I mean, it's one of those shows where, and yeah, they've made a lot of comparisons to John Wick, but truth be told, I mean, there's a lot. You can tell that the creators loved action movies. You can I mean, they make so many references to Die Hard. I mean, they even make references to Hot Fuzz. And I mean, so right then and there, that gained my my love for it. But Shisato is like just so bright and cheery that it's like, I don't know. Jack just makes me mad.
I'm definitely checking this out, dude.
Dude, go for it, man. I think it's been one of my it was definitely one of my favorites last season, and it's one of my dark horse favorites for the year.
Which one is
And
that one again? Sorry.
Licorice Recoil.
Licorice
Licorice
Recoil.
Recoil. Oh, you were telling me about that one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the one we just came out with. That that was the last episode we came out with, right?
Like
Mhm.
legit last,
Okay.
like
we
newest
just-
episode.
Yeah, that's the newest.
We argued with Jack about it for like 45 minutes because he hates it.
I do not hate it.
He hates it.
I don't.
The hater.
He hates it. And so, but
Every-
no, I think it is one that you would really enjoy because it had the action in it is very good. But it has a very good story to it too as well.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
positive story for being, like it's about girl assassins, but it still manages to be really positive and cheerful. And
Okay.
like it doesn't explore. Just watch it, man. Just watch.
Okay. I got like the whole paper going on right now and stuff I gotta watch.
Yeah, I got my
So-
list from you guys too. I got like
I have my list too.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got,
glad
like-
I actually rarely get any anime selections that I haven't seen. So
oh well, I think there's 5 of us on here, and with Christina's surprise appearance at 6, I think we covered.
And Edwin's mom.
Yeah, that was Bob there.
That's right. Cameo for my mom. Yeah, I mean, we've watched a lot of anime. I mean, I can't even in the last Jesus. I honestly in the last 4 years I've probably watched like something like 300 anime.
This year
Jesus
alone, the most I've
Yeah.
seen completed.
are we doing that per anime or episode? Like
No, per anime.
Okay.
Okay.
Per anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you watch like some of One Piece, so that's a 300 episodes. That's what I've
Right?
done this
Yeah.
year.
No, we're talking about 300 different anime.
Yeah, and for me, like this has been the most I've checked for newer shows for the same year. Like this is definitely my topper compared to like me catching up and me, going in between a lot of other stuff too.
Well, I love that because I didn't used to know that there was seasonal anime.
Right.
Like learning that there was seasonal anime like blew my mind because I was like, wait, what, they released this seasonally? And that was like really important for my anime watching because then people are like, how many anime are you watching this season? I'm like, I'm watching 15. And they're like,
Okay, I
what?
can't do all that.
Well, I only watch like 2 or 3 episodes a week because they only release 1 episode a week. So I can like watch 5 anime a week and it's not that big a deal because I'm only watching 1 episode at a time. Now, if I was binging,
Yeah.
that'd be a different story.
Okay, when you put it like that, I
Yeah.
gotta recount how much I've watched. Oh god.
And I know
Yeah.
it's a good season when I have at least 2 anime every day that get released. I'm like, oh yeah, this season is stacked, baby. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been harsh for Thursdays this year. Nothing at all. Nothing at least I want to see at least. Like,
Yeah, it's been like I don't like track the I don't track the days
oh, I did.
because I get upset when what happens to me is I get upset that the show that I don't want, that the show, because every season this will happen. I'll have my favorite show, and if like a few days pass and there's not another episode, I get upset. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I need to pace myself. I'm glad I don't know what day it comes out because I used to just wait till Fridays. I can't do that anymore. I'm like, I want to watch it now.
Yeah, what I've done is like so Blue Lock comes out on Sundays. I'm pretty sure, or is it Saturdays? It's one of the two. And I watch it on my lunch break. That's how I keep up with it. And then it keeps me my sanity going to finish the rest of the shift.
There you go.
I
How is
was
it? You
watching
like it?
Slack. What did you say? Blue, I love it. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Been playing Overwatch all day.
Do you like most sports anime?
Yeah, actually, I think that back to back the simulcasts for the soccer ones have been really good, and I'm kind of a soccer hater if I'm being completely honest. Like Awashi, I don't know how to properly pronounce it, was actually amazing, and I was very much a fan of it. And then Classroom with the Elite, was my favorite. But I think Summer 2022 simulcast was my favorite because I waited for Overload for a while. I waited for Classroom with the Elite for like 2 years. One Piece is still going on. That's never ends. She was really good. I can't stand Rent's a Girlfriend. The main character, he pisses me off more than Woodson and Scribe.
Yeah.
Like, bro, how are you that? Like, I have my moments, but how are you that possibly down bad to like do that much for a date? Nah. And Dr.
Yeah.
Stone was out.
Different cultures, I'll tell you.
I don't know.
But at the same time, Denji is doing all that to touch a boob.
But Denji has a chainsaw. It's different. He's fighting devils to get some. This man is paying for a date and to like and to talk about himself like consistently.
Let's see, you a young man, bro. You'll learn the values of paying once you get a little older.
Oh my god.
And picking the right day, dude.
You'll learn. I told you you ain't been destroyed in the game enough.
Yeah.
Because I am the destroyer. That's
you
why.
gotta get destroyed.
Oh, there you go.
In the game just a little bit more.
He's only on his first arc.
You'll understand.
That's right.
Kyle,
I'm in my second arc. I'm in my villain arc right now.
You're 19. You haven't had an arc yet.
Yeah, Rent a Girlfriend is its own special kind of hell. Yeah, it's
aggravating.
Yeah, he's
a different level of down bad.
I like that show. I liked the first season. I actually enjoyed the second season a lot.
Second
more.
season is really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the second season more than I did the first one. But yeah, for that character, like unless you're ready to deal with him, that show can be its own special hell. Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
It was just.
it's like
I watched like the first episodes.
Yeah, it's like me and My Hero Academia. It's like I love My Hero Academia, but Deku makes that show. For me, it's like, come on, dude.
This might be the worst new gen MC. And that's. I don't know if I can like question who else would hit that round. Maybe Asta if he doesn't stop streaming. But like,
Yeah. I loved Asta, but yeah, man, that kid could get annoying as shit.
Yeah, especially like when they're doing their what do they call that? The book they did when they were doing, and he just starts like doing that weird voice he does. I was like losing my sanity about that. I'm like, can you just shut up for like 5 seconds? Like, I've watched the show. Like, I'm on episode 2, and of the 46 minutes combined, you have been streaming for a solid 18 of them, and I'm not dealing with this.
And then when he was working out in the skull, Oh man,
Yup.
those scenes. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Shut up,
I didn't think
please.
I was. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it. But I watched most of that show.
You guys can never watch Fairy Tale. It's not for you.
Oh shit.
Oh, does he not stop streaming?
Natsu is literally like, I'm pretty sure that Asta is like the son of Natsu. So.
Yeah, I've never watched Fairy Tale.
My godson
I'm-
loves that show.
How about Seven Deadly Sins? That's like in the same camp, I would argue.
That's the most boring anime. I don't know. I cannot watch it.
Yeah, I couldn't
Seven
get that.
Deadly Sins. Oh, the fall off, bro.
Yeah.
It's so like
Fall off
Ah.
was hard.
Mhm.
It got to the point where I was just like, I just got to do this. Like, it's like going to the dentist at the end. It was like, all right. All right. It's like I ate the caramel apple and I was like, cool, it's great. And then I broke my tooth and I was like, what do I do now? Do I just pull the tooth or do I go to the dentist to get it fixed? So I went to the dentist and I got it fixed and I should have just pulled the fucking tooth in all reality. Because it was like, I don't, I don't read mangas because I don't have the time to do both because I'm a big comic book fan. So I generally have to like pick and choose. I can't be like, oh, I'm gonna read all these manga, anime, and do, I just don't have time for it. There's not enough time in the world. So I'm strictly anime and strictly comic books because they're not turning comic books into series every time. I don't get lucky with those.
Yeah, it would be
So,
nice. Yeah.
And sometimes as I watch anime, sometimes I can straight tell, like, all right, they cut out a lot of details that were actually needed. Sometimes it's just like, okay, that was really well done. It didn't matter if I missed any little minute things. And then other times I'm like, what did they just? Why
what
didn't you
just
just
happened?
at season 3? I would have preferred a Hunter x Hunter goodbye than what you gave me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Game over.
I just sad. But
Oh,
I did
man.
like Hunter x Hunter. I'm not finished with it yet, but I liked it. Also, Kurapika pulling up with the shovel is the most amazing and just downright disrespectful thing I've ever seen in an anime. Ever. He went to a fight with a shovel because he knew he was gonna win. If that isn't the most like, yeah, okay, type of, oh my god, that was just amazing.
Well, I found the one that the parties hate.
yeah, well, you have a way of doing that, Jack. I give you credit. Well, the thing that I've taken from this and that I think is a testament to what you guys have done with the podcast thus far is everybody said, oh, I got a list of stuff to watch. So, and I know that's been a big goal for you guys to like get people interested in these lesser known things that they haven't seen yet. So
Golden Kamuy. I'm glad that Jesse brought that up. That's a show I've been tempted for an episode, but it's like, where's that right now? What can I say more about it? Because it's definitely historical, but it's also a kind of weird turn on historical events. So yeah.
Yeah, isn't that one of the simulcasts for this season?
Or Golden Kamuy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing their third season, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
they're in their
Second.
third season.
Oh, it's third. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I only saw a portion, 75% of the first season.
The ride only gets wilder. Okay.
Yeah. I'll go back
Is
to
that for a 2-year eternity? That's really wild.
that one as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched most of the first season on that one. And that one was really, that one's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I've been kind of spoiled for most of it, so I kind of know what happens, but like I'm still like kind of really want to watch it,
No, yeah. Well, I mean, like we talk about, like we tell people to go and watch the show. We tell them what show we're going to be talking about. We tell them to go watch the show first. We know they can't always do that. But I think we don't, even when we're talking about it, I think people can still go back and watch and enjoy the show. Even though we've talked about it. So we don't try to spoil it. we don't try to like not talk about what happens, but I don't feel that we spoil it too much.
It's more like
Yeah, because you don't have like a little teaser about it.
Mhm.
well, it's more like a cultivation. Like we discussed the outer picture stuff more than the inner picture because we talked mostly about production, how it's received, this and that and this, but also like thematically how it works as a story, and ultimately anime has its own art form. And our two strongest genres that we tend to bounce off with is isekai and slice of life because those are genres that are kind of at bay at the moment. So overall, like trying to bring those type of shows in the surface compared to like Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. Of course, you can write novels on
Demon
these
Slayer is so
things.
overrated.
Yeah,
It's literally
so good.
only good thing is its art. That's
It is.
literally the only thing about
We're
it.
not dismissing it. It's just a matter of like getting these more particular shows that might be forgetting like maybe even 2 years. Our second episode, Ascendance of Bookworm and Attacks, those
Mhm.
are must. Like if I had to like go in my graveyard to recommend anything, it's those two shows.
What show?
Yeah, I know that
Attacks.
Sense of Bookworm, right?
It's a
Yep.
bookworm
Yes.
and
Oh, magnificent. Just one of the best isekais. Definitely on my top list of isekais. Like it's just different and amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Jesse with a good save there. And ultimately, it's like one of those things where introducing that to Kyle because he still hasn't seen it yet. It just comes and goes. It's going to be an ongoing journey from here on out, guys.
I have a quick question. Would you guys consider Dr. Stone an isekai since the world is pretty much completely different and it was changed?
Which one?
Ew.
Dr.
Dr.
Stone.
Stone?
Dr. Stone's more of a. It's similar to Going Kamuy, even to your eternity in that weird adventure scope thing. Or even Reckoning Kings, like if it doesn't have any isekai elements, but isekai has played with that type of show before too.
I think Kyle, I think there's enough there where the argument could be made that it's an isekai because the world is entirely
It's entirely
different.
different.
Yeah, they've entered a different world. I
The
think
Stone world.
yeah. Well, I mean, you've gone it's essentially the thematic concept of an isekai because you leave one world behind to have a world where you're essentially surviving on your own wits.
Yeah, and
With
just so
an
happens that the main dude is a genius.
Mhm.
So I mean, it follows that also that like the main character is like kind of overpowered in the sense that he is the most like he's the smartest man left in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can kind of like go off of that too. That's why I was like kind of thinking about that.
Yeah, no, that argument could be made. I agree.
Do you like
Because
that
a
show?
lot of times it's like the isekai part, except for like we've had this discussion too. There you go, Jack. Yeah, we've had this discussion about most isekai where the world they came from kind of doesn't really matter.
Right.
I mean, Truck-kun kills them, and then that happens like in the first 20 seconds of the episode, and then yep, and then they're transported to whatever world it is, and then the previous world doesn't really matter. I think that one of the only ones where they
But
play around with it is Mushko Tensei and maybe
Yeah.
Inuyasha. Our world. But for most isekai, it's like once they're there, that's it. And Dr. Stone, they can't go back. I mean, unless he invents time travel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then can we go to Mishra Tensei? Because that's my favorite isekai actually, I think I've watched. But like
Yeah, it's-
just the because there is so many callbacks to like his past life and
Mhm.
the way it ended and everything. Because it's a huge part. That's like a huge like mental block for the main character. And I haven't
Yeah.
watched him so long for any names. And like it affects him to like the point where he's scared of everything and he becomes a shut-in.
Yeah.
And that affects him early in the beginning. And you especially see that with Roxy
Hmm.
when she forces him to leave the property for the first time. and how he was just terrified of the outside world.
And you don't
And
really see that a lot in you don't see that a lot in a lot of isekai. They usually leave their emotional baggage behind. But
Yeah.
in this one, I mean, really the only emotional baggage that they usually deal with is that they'll say, well, I did nothing with my previous life.
Right.
You know, I was just a teen in this life and I didn't have anything. For Mushko Tensei, it's a lot more important because, like you said, yeah, it's like he brings his emotional baggage from his previous life,
Mhm.
and it like really
I,
affects.
yeah, I just love Mushroom Sensei.
Yeah, it's one of the. I think
Isekai.
it's one of the best. Yeah,
It's a very good show, like from beginning to end, because the openings in that matter. Like you
Yeah,
have to watch the openings in the show because there's
and
all
the endings too.
yeah.
I've heard about those because they lead into the next episode at the time.
yeah, it has its little distinction with that. Edwin and I had our extensive discussion about Rudius and his version.
I love Rudy.
Well, I love Rudy.
I'm
He's
starting
just-
to
he's-
like him more than I used to. Like his perversion got too far for me. Like it almost got to a point where I stopped watching the show.
But you guys didn't ask what my second favorite genre was.
What's your second favorite genre?
Etchy.
So yeah, that I could live my life very happily without seeing any of that. And so that's why Rudy was just so annoying to me. And he was once he started sealing it, I'm not going to go back into that. But once I was able to get beyond that, and Edwin and I came to the conclusion that there were consequences to his perversion,
Yeah,
which did like help save the show for us, or the character at least. So seeing that happen, and it happened to him repeatedly, where his perversion got him in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, the what's it
Isn't
called?
that what
The
makes
scene
the-
with the.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you can just say. I was gonna say something stupid.
Oh, same.
well, Eris would literally beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
In other anime, I mean,
Some
that
people like
doesn't.
that.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen. There's not always a consequence for their, usually a lot of times the girl will laugh it off.
Yeah.
Or did the shy anime draw? No,
Mhm.
don't do that.
Yeah.